Welcome to my channel, Bookish English. I am Ariel, and today we are going to practice 250 English phrases you can actually use in everyday life. These are not difficult textbook sentences, and they are not unusual expressions that you may never hear again. They are simple, natural phrases people use when they wake up, get ready, go to work, send messages, buy something, meet friends, travel, solve small problems, and talk about normal daily life. Because this lesson is made for beginners, we will move slowly and clearly. First, you will hear the phrase. Then you will understand when people use it. After that, you will repeat it and use it in a simple situation of your own. You do not need perfect grammar, and you do not need to remember everything immediately. Just listen carefully, speak out loud, and keep going. By the end of this course, these phrases should start feeling familiar, useful, and much easier to say naturally. Chapter 1. Morning, getting ready, and starting the day. We are going to begin with something you already know very well, your morning. Every day, you wake up, look at the time, get out of bed, wash your face, get dressed, prepare what you need, eat or drink something, and finally leave home or begin your work. Because these actions happen again and again, they are perfect for English practice. You do not need to imagine an unusual situation. You can connect every sentence with something you actually do. That makes the language easier to understand and easier to remember. In this chapter, I want you to do more than repeat after me. When you hear each sentence, imagine yourself using it tomorrow morning. Think about where you are, who may be speaking to you, and what you would naturally say. Then repeat the sentence out loud. After that, change one small part if you can. That small change helps you move from remembering English to actually using it. I'm awake now. Imagine your alarm rings. You open your eyes and look around the room. A few seconds ago, you were sleeping, but now you are awake. A very simple sentence you can say is, I'm awake now. Say it slowly. I'm awake now. Good. This may sound very basic, but basic English is powerful when it matches your real life. Tomorrow morning, before checking your phone or getting out of bed, try saying this sentence quietly to yourself. I'm awake now. You are teaching your mind to connect English with a real moment instead of only studying English on a page. I need a few more minutes. Maybe you are awake, but you are still tired. You do not want to stand up immediately. You want just a little more time. In that situation, you can say, I need a few more minutes. Repeat it with me. I need a few more minutes. Very good. This sentence is useful outside the morning, too. If someone is waiting for you while you finish something, you can use the same phrase. Maybe you need 5 more minutes. You can say, I need 5 more minutes. Maybe you need 10. I need 10 more minutes. Notice how easily the sentence changes. I'm getting ready. Now imagine you are out of bed. You are washing your face, brushing your teeth, choosing your clothes, or preparing your bag. Someone calls and asks what you are doing. You do not need to explain every action. You can simply say, I'm getting ready. Repeat, I'm getting ready. Good. You can also add more information. I'm getting ready for work. I'm getting ready for school. I'm getting ready to go out. Choose the sentence that matches your own life and say it now. I'm almost ready. A little later, most of your preparation is finished. Maybe you only need to put on your shoes or pick up your bag. Now you can say, I'm almost ready. Repeat it naturally. I'm almost ready. Imagine someone is waiting for you and sends a message asking, Are you ready? You can answer, I'm almost ready. This sentence is useful because it tells the other person that they do not need to wait much longer. Give me a minute. Sometimes someone wants you to hurry, but you need just a little more time. You can say, Give me a minute. Repeat it. Give me a minute. In real conversation, this does not always mean exactly 60 seconds. It simply means, wait a short time. If you want to sound softer, you can say, "Give me a minute, please," or "Just give me a minute." Imagine you are looking for your keys and someone says, "Come on, let's go." You can answer, "Give me a minute. I'm looking for my keys." Think about the first part of your morning now. You wake up and say, "I'm awake now." You are tired, so you think, "I need a few more minutes." Then you get out of bed. "I'm getting ready." Someone asks if you are finished. "I'm almost ready." They ask you to hurry. "Give me a minute." This is how real English works. One simple sentence connects naturally to the next. "I'll be ready soon." Imagine someone is waiting for you outside or in another room. You are not ready yet, but you know you will finish in a short time. Say, "I'll be ready soon." Repeat it, "I'll be ready soon." This sentence gives the other person useful information. You can also say, "Dinner will be ready soon," or "I'll call you soon." The word soon is useful because it means after a short amount of time. "Let me get dressed." Imagine someone wants you to come outside, but you are still wearing your sleeping clothes. You can say, "Let me get dressed." Repeat it slowly, "Let me get dressed." You may also say, "Let me get dressed first." This sounds very natural. The pattern, "let me," is extremely useful in everyday English. You can say, "Let me check," "Let me see," "Let me think," "Let me finish this." Today, connect it with your morning. "Let me get dressed." "I need to hurry." Now imagine you look at the clock and suddenly realize you have less time than you thought. Your bus may be coming soon, your work may begin soon, or someone may be waiting. You can say, "I need to hurry." Repeat it, "I need to hurry." If you have plenty of time, you do not need to hurry. But when the time is short, this sentence is very natural. You can also say, "We need to hurry," if you are with other people. "I'm running a little late." This is something people say all the time. Maybe you wanted to leave at 8 o'clock, but it is already 8:10. You are later than you plan. You can message someone and say, "Sorry, I'm running a little late." Repeat the full sentence. "Sorry, I'm running a little late." Very good. Running late does not mean you are actually running. It means your schedule is late. This is useful for work, meetings, appointments, and meeting friends. "I'm ready to go." Finally, you have finished everything. Your clothes are on, your phone is with you, and your bag is ready. You can say, "I'm ready to go." Repeat it, "I'm ready to go." Maybe someone asks, "Can we leave?" You can answer, "Yes, I'm ready to go." You can use the same pattern for many things. "I'm ready to eat." "I'm ready to start." "I'm ready to learn." The words change, but the pattern stays useful. Now imagine the situation again. You say, "I'll be ready soon." Then, "Let me get dressed." You check the time and realize, "I need to hurry." You message someone, "Sorry, I'm running a little late." A few minutes later, you can finally say, "I'm ready to go." These sentences sound natural because they follow the real order of a normal morning. Let me check everything. Before you leave home, you may want to check that you have everything you need. Phone, keys, money, bag, documents, lunch. Whatever is important for you. You can say, "Let me check everything." Repeat it. "Let me check everything." You can make it more specific too. "Let me check my bag." "Let me check my phone." "Let me check the time." This pattern will appear again and again in natural English. "I think I have everything." After checking your things, maybe nothing seems to be missing. You can say, "I think I have everything." Repeat it slowly. "I think I have everything." Maybe you are packing for work or traveling somewhere. You can say, "I think I have everything I need." Notice the words, "I think." They are useful when you believe something is true but you are not completely certain. "I forgot something." But sometimes, just when you are about to leave, you suddenly remember an important item. Maybe your phone is still charging. Maybe your wallet is on the table. You can say, "I forgot something." Repeat it. Good. Then be specific. "I forgot my phone." "I forgot my keys." "I forgot my lunch." Think about something you sometimes forget and make your own sentence. Wait for me. Imagine the other people have already started leaving, but you are still looking for something. You can say, wait for me. Repeat it, wait for me. If you want to sound polite, you can say, please wait for me. This is a short phrase, but you can use it in many situations. Maybe a friend is walking too fast. Maybe your family is going outside. Maybe you are trying to catch up with someone. Wait for me. I'm coming. Someone calls you from another room or waits for you outside. You are moving toward them. You can answer, I'm coming. Repeat it naturally, I'm coming. This is a common everyday response. Maybe someone says, breakfast is ready. You say, I'm coming. Someone says, we're waiting outside. You say, I'm coming. Try saying it quickly and naturally, because that is how people often use it. Let's turn these into another real moment. You are at the door and say, let me check everything. You look through your bag. I think I have everything. Then suddenly you remember your wallet. I forgot something. Everyone else walks toward the car. You call, wait for me. You find your wallet and say, I'm coming. This is real-life English connected to a simple story. Let's get going. Everyone is finally ready. Now you want the group to start moving. You can say, let's get going. Repeat it, let's get going. This is more natural in many situations than simply saying go. You can use it with friends, family, or coworkers. It means it is time for us to leave or begin moving. We should leave now. Maybe you look at the clock and know that if you stay any longer, you may be late. You can say, we should leave now. Repeat it slowly. Very good. If you are talking only about yourself, say, I should leave now. Imagine you have an appointment in 30 minutes. I should leave now. If your family is going together, we should leave now. I have a busy day today. Some days are full of things to do. Maybe you have work, shopping, calls, family responsibilities, or study. You can say, I have a busy day today. Repeat it. Excellent. If someone asks about your day, this sentence gives them a clear picture. You can add, I have a lot to do. Say both together. I have a busy day today. I have a lot to do. I have plenty of time. Other mornings are calmer. Maybe you woke up early and prepared quickly. You look at the clock and realize you do not need to rush. You can say, I have plenty of time. Repeat it. I have plenty of time. Plenty of time means more than enough time. Maybe you can sit down, finish your breakfast, or check something before leaving. I need to leave early. Sometimes you already know that the day will begin sooner than normal. Maybe you have an appointment, traffic is usually heavy, or you have an early meeting. You can say, I need to leave early. Repeat it. Very good. Add a reason. I need to leave early because I have an appointment. Or, I need to leave early because the traffic is bad in the morning. You do not need a long explanation. One short reason makes your English more natural. Now compare two very different mornings. On one day, you may say, I have plenty of time. On another day, I need to hurry. On one day, I'm ready to go. On another, I'm running a little late. Real life changes, so your English needs different phrases for different situations. I'll eat something first. Imagine everyone is ready to leave, but you have not eaten anything. You can say, I'll eat something first. Repeat it. Good. The word first tells us that this action will happen before another one. You can change the sentence easily. I'll shower first. I'll finish this first. I'll call him first. Now go back to the morning situation. I'll eat something first. I need some coffee. Maybe you are awake, but you still feel sleepy. If you drink coffee, you might naturally say, I need some coffee. Repeat it. If you do not drink coffee, change the sentence. I need some tea. I need some water. I need some breakfast. The important thing is not the coffee. The useful pattern is, I need some. I feel much better now. Maybe you felt tired when you woke up, but after washing your face, drinking something, and eating breakfast, you feel more awake. You can say, I feel much better now. Repeat it naturally. Good. This phrase can also be used later in the day. Maybe you were tired and then rested. I feel much better now. Maybe you were hungry and then ate. I feel much better now. Everything is ready. Your breakfast is finished, your bag is prepared, your phone is charged, and everyone can leave. You can say, everything is ready. Repeat it. Very good. This is useful in many other situations too. Before dinner, everything is ready. Before a meeting, everything is ready. Before traveling, everything is ready. Short sentences often have many uses. Let's have a good day. This is a simple and positive way to finish your morning preparation. Before leaving home or beginning your work, you can say, let's have a good day. Repeat it with a natural voice. Excellent. You can say it to your family, coworkers, friends, or even to yourself. Maybe you know the day will be busy. You can still say, let's have a good day. It is not a difficult sentence, but it creates a positive beginning. Now let's use everything in one realistic morning instead of thinking about separate sentences. Imagine it is 7 o'clock. Your alarm rings. You open your eyes and say, I'm awake now. You are still tired, so you think, I need a few more minutes. A little later, you get out of bed and begin washing your face and changing your clothes. I'm getting ready. Someone asks if you are ready. I'm almost ready. Give me a minute. I'll be ready soon. Then you check the time. Maybe you stayed in bed a little too long. I need to hurry. I'm running a little late. You finish dressing. I'm ready to go. Before leaving, you stop and think, let me check everything. I think I have everything. Then you realize your keys are not in your pocket. I forgot something. Someone is already outside, so you call, wait for me. You find your keys and answer, I'm coming. Now everyone is together. Let's get going. We should leave now. Maybe today is full of work. I have a busy day today. Or maybe you prepared very early and can say, I have plenty of time. Before leaving, you realize you are hungry. I'll eat something first. I need some coffee. After eating, I feel much better now. You check your bag one final time. Everything is ready. Then you step outside and say, let's have a good day. Now I want you to practice in a different way. I will give you a situation, and you try to say the English sentence before I give you the answer. You open your eyes in the morning. What can you say? I'm awake now. You are still tired and want a little extra time. I need a few more minutes. You are washing your face and changing clothes. I'm getting ready. You only need a little more time. I'm almost ready. Someone is waiting. Give me a minute. You know you will finish soon. I'll be ready soon. You still need to change your clothes. Let me get dressed. You look at the clock and see you have very little time. I need to hurry. You are later than you planned. I'm running a little late. Now everything is finished. I'm ready to go. You want to make sure you have your important things. Let me check everything. Nothing seems to be missing. I think I have everything. Suddenly you remember your phone. I forgot something. Someone begins leaving without you. Wait for me. You are walking toward them. I'm coming. Everyone is ready. Let's get going. It is time to leave. We should leave now. You have many things to do today. I have a busy day today. You are early and do not need to rush. I have plenty of time. You want food before leaving. I'll eat something first. You feel tired and want your usual morning drink. I need some coffee, or change it to tea if that is more natural for you. After eating, you feel better. I feel much better now. Everything has been prepared. Everything is ready. And finally, before beginning the day, let's have a good day. You have now finished the first chapter, but do not think of these sentences as 25 things you must memorize tonight. That is not the goal. The goal is to make them familiar enough that you begin to notice situations where they belong. Tomorrow morning, choose just 5 of them. Maybe when you wake up, say, I'm awake now. While getting dressed, say, I'm getting ready. Before leaving, say, let me check everything. When you finish, say, I'm ready to go. And as your day begins, say, "Let's have a good day." If you use the English in your real morning, the phrases stop feeling like lines from a lesson and start becoming part of your everyday language. You have completed the first 25 of our 250 everyday English phrases. In the next chapter, we will continue with the English you need at home, around food, and during simple everyday tasks. We will keep the language natural, clear, and practical so you can hear it, understand it, and actually use it. Chapter 2: Home, Food, and Things You Need. In this chapter, we are moving into another part of life that you already know very well: being at home, eating, drinking, preparing food, cleaning small things, and taking care of simple daily needs. This is one of the best places to practice English because you do these actions again and again. You do not need to imagine a complicated situation. You can connect the English directly with your kitchen, your room, your table, your food, your family, and the small tasks you do during the day. In this chapter, you will hear natural phrases that people really use at home. First, listen to the phrase, then understand the situation. After that, repeat it out loud. Finally, change one small part so the phrase becomes your own. This is how English becomes easier to remember. You are not only collecting sentences, you are learning when to use them. I need some water. Imagine you have been working, walking, studying, or simply sitting for a long time, and now you feel thirsty. A very natural sentence is, "I need some water." Repeat it with me. "I need some water." Good. You can use the same pattern with many things. I need some tea. I need some food. I need some rest. I need some help. The sentence is short, but it gives you a useful structure you can use every day. Now make it personal. What do you need right now? Maybe water, tea, coffee, or a short break. Say your own sentence. I'm really hungry. This is one of the most common sentences people use before eating. Imagine it is lunchtime and you have not eaten for several hours. You can say, "I'm really hungry." Repeat it naturally. "I'm really hungry." The word really makes the feeling stronger. You can also say, "I'm a little hungry," if you only want a small amount of food. Try both. "I'm really hungry." "I'm a little hungry." Excellent. Real conversations often use these small changes to show how strong a feeling is. I could eat something. This is another natural way to say you are ready to have food. Maybe you are not extremely hungry, but you would like a snack or a small meal. You can say, "I could eat something." Repeat it slowly. Good. Imagine a friend says, "Do you want to get some food?" You might answer, "Yes, I could eat something." This sounds relaxed and natural. You do not need to say, "I am very hungry," every time. Different situations need different phrases. This smells really good. Imagine someone is cooking in the kitchen. You walk into the room and smell the food before you even see it. You can say, "This smells really good." Repeat it. Excellent. You can use this for soup, bread, coffee, rice, chicken, or anything with a nice smell. Maybe someone is baking something. You can say, "That smells really good." Notice the small difference between this and that. Use this when something feels close. Use that when it is a little farther away. You do not need to study the grammar deeply right now. Just notice the natural difference. This tastes great. Now imagine you take the first bite. You like the food very much. You can say, "This tastes great." Repeat it with me. Very good. This is a natural compliment when someone cooks something for you. You can also say, "This tastes really good." If you want to practice a little more, think of your favorite food and say, "This tastes great." Then imagine someone asks, "Do you like it?" You can answer, "Yes, it tastes great." Let us connect these first few phrases into a real situation. You come home after a long day and say, "I need some water." A little later, you notice you are hungry. "I'm really hungry." Someone asks if you want something to eat. "I could eat something." You walk into the kitchen and smell dinner. This smells really good. You take the first bite and say, "This tastes great." Notice how each phrase belongs naturally to the next moment. This is the kind of English you can actually use in everyday life. It's a little spicy. Imagine the food has some strong spice, but you can still enjoy it. You can say, "It's a little spicy." Repeat it naturally. Good. A little makes the sentence softer. You are not saying the food is extremely spicy. You are saying there is some spice. You can use the same pattern with other words. It's a little hot. It's a little cold. It's a little sweet. It's a little salty. Now choose one word and make your own sentence. It's too hot to eat. Imagine you have just received fresh soup or tea, but the temperature is so high that you cannot eat or drink it comfortably. You can say, "It's too hot to eat." Or if it is a drink, "It's too hot to drink." Repeat the first one. It's too hot to eat. Very good. The phrase too hot means the temperature is more than you want. This is different from saying something is spicy. English uses hot in both situations, but the context tells us what you mean. Let it cool down. If the food or drink is too hot, the natural next thing to say is, "Let it cool down." Repeat it. Good. This means wait until the temperature becomes lower. Maybe someone wants to drink tea immediately, and you say, "Let it cool down first." Try that. Let it cool down first. Excellent. This phrase is very useful in the kitchen. I'll have a little more. Imagine you finish your first serving and you still want some more food. You can say, "I'll have a little more." Repeat it. Very good. This phrase sounds polite and natural. Maybe someone asks, "Would you like more rice?" You can answer, "Yes, I'll have a little more." You can change the amount too. "I'll have some more." "I'll have just a little more." All of these are useful. "That's enough for me." After eating, maybe someone offers more food, but you do not want any more. You can say, "That's enough for me." Repeat it slowly. Good. This means the amount you already have is enough. You can use this sentence with food, drinks, work, or even information in some situations. But for now, imagine you are eating and someone wants to add more food to your plate. You can politely say, "That's enough for me, thank you. I'm full now." This is what you can say when you have eaten enough and do not feel hungry anymore. Repeat, "I'm full now." Very good. Maybe someone offers dessert, but you cannot eat more. You can say, "No thank you, I'm full now." Try the complete answer. Excellent. This is a simple phrase, but very useful when eating with other people. "I'll save this for later." Sometimes you cannot finish your food, but you do not want to throw it away. You can say, "I'll save this for later." Repeat it. Good. Maybe you have half a sandwich left. "I'll save this for later." Maybe you have some cake. "I'll save it for later." Notice how this can become it when the object is already clear. You do not need to think too much about that. Just hear how natural it sounds. Help yourself. Imagine you put food on the table and want someone to take what they like. You can say, "Help yourself." Repeat it. Very good. This does not mean help yourself with a problem. In this context, it means take some food or drink if you want it. For example, you can say, "There's some fruit on the table. Help yourself." This is a friendly phrase used when guests, friends, or family members are around. "I'll make some tea." Imagine you are at home and want to prepare tea for yourself or other people. You can say, "I'll make some tea." Repeat it. Excellent. You can easily change the object. "I'll make some coffee." "I'll make some breakfast." "I'll make dinner." Now think about something you usually prepare and make your own sentence. Very good. Now imagine a family meal. Someone says, "It's a little spicy." The soup is very hot, so another person says, "Let it cool down." Later, someone asks if you want more. You answer, "I'll have a little more." A few minutes later, "That's enough for me. I'm full now." You still have some food on your plate, so you say, "I'll save this for later." Then you tell a guest, "Help yourself." And finally, "I'll make some tea." These phrases are short, but together they create a realistic conversation around food. Dinner is almost ready. Imagine you are cooking and another person asks when the food will be ready. You can say, dinner is almost ready. Repeat it. Good. Almost ready means only a little more time is needed. You can also say, lunch is almost ready, or breakfast is almost ready. This pattern is easy to use. If someone is waiting, it gives them useful information. I'll set the table. Before a meal, you may put plates, glasses, spoons, forks, or other things on the table. In English, you can say, I'll set the table. Repeat it. Excellent. Imagine another person is cooking and you want to help. You can say, you cook, I'll set the table. That sounds natural and helpful. I'll wash the dishes. After the meal, someone needs to clean the plates, cups, and other dishes. You can say, I'll wash the dishes. Repeat it. Very good. If someone else cooked, you might say, you cooked, so I'll wash the dishes. This is a natural home conversation. You can also say, I'll do the dishes. Both mean almost the same thing in everyday English. I need to clean up. Imagine the kitchen or room is a little messy after eating or working. You can say, I need to clean up. Repeat it. Good. Clean up means make the area clean and organized. Maybe there are cups on the table, papers on the desk, or clothes on the chair. You can say, I need to clean up. This phrase works in many parts of the home. I'll put this away. Imagine you have finished using something and now want to return it to its proper place. You can say, I'll put this away. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe it is food and you want to put it in the refrigerator. Maybe it is a book and you want to return it to the shelf. Maybe it is clothing and you want to put it in the closet. The phrase works in all of these situations. Leave it over there. Imagine someone is holding something and asks where to put it. You can say, leave it over there. Repeat it. Good. Over there means a place a little farther away from you. Maybe you point to a table across the room and say, leave it over there. You can also say, put it over there. Both are useful. Keep it here. This phrase means you want something to stay in the place near you. Repeat it. Keep it here. Very good. Maybe someone wants to move an object, but you want it to remain where it is. No, keep it here. You can also say, you can keep it here for now. The phrase is simple and useful when organizing things. This needs to be washed. Repeat it slowly. Good. This phrase means the item is dirty and should be cleaned. You can change it easily. This needs to be cleaned. This needs to be fixed. This needs to be checked. One useful pattern can help you build many new sentences. We're out of milk. Imagine you open the refrigerator and discover there is no milk left. You can say, we're out of milk. Repeat it. Excellent. We're out of means there is none left. You can say, we're out of bread. We're out of rice. We're out of coffee. This is very natural home English, especially before shopping. I need to buy more. After saying, we're out of milk, the natural next phrase is, I need to buy more. Repeat it. Good. You can use this for anything you do not have enough of. I need to buy more bread. I need to buy more fruit. I need to buy more soap. Now think of something you need at home and make your own sentence. Now I can relax. Imagine you have finished cooking, eating, cleaning, and putting everything away. The work is done. You sit down and say, now I can relax. Repeat it with me. Excellent. This is a very natural sentence after completing a task. Maybe you finish work. Now I can relax. Maybe you finish studying. Now I can relax. It is a simple phrase that fits many everyday situations. Now let us put these home phrases into a realistic evening. You arrive home tired and say, I need some water. A little later, I'm really hungry. You smell dinner cooking. This smells really good. You eat the first bite. This tastes great. Maybe it is spicy. It's a little spicy. The soup is very hot. It's too hot to eat. Let it cool down. After a few minutes, you ask for more. I'll have a little more. Later, that's enough for me. I'm full now. You have some food left. I'll save this for later. A family member comes into the kitchen. Help yourself. I'll make some tea. Someone asks about dinner. Dinner is almost ready. You want to help. I'll set the table. After eating, I'll wash the dishes. You look around the room. I need to clean up. You pick up a container. I'll put this away. Someone asks where to put another item. Leave it over there. Another object should stay close. Keep it here. You see a dirty towel. This needs to be washed. Then you check the refrigerator. We're out of milk. I need to buy more. Finally, after everything is finished, you sit down and say, "Now I can relax." Now let us practice with situations. You are thirsty. What can you say? I need some water. You have not eaten for hours. I'm really hungry. You smell good food. This smells really good. You taste it and like it. This tastes great. The food has some strong spice. It's a little spicy. The soup is too hot. It's too hot to eat. What should you do? Let it cool down. Someone offers more food and you want a little. I'll have a little more. You have eaten enough. That's enough for me. You cannot eat any more. I'm full now. You want to keep the rest. I'll save this for later. You want someone to take food from the table. Help yourself. You want to prepare tea. I'll make some tea. The meal will be ready very soon. Dinner is almost ready. You want to put plates and glasses on the table. I'll set the table. After eating, you want to clean the plates. I'll wash the dishes. The room is messy. I need to clean up. You have finished using something and want to return it to its place. I'll put this away. Someone asks where to leave an object. Leave it over there. You want another object to stay close to you. Keep it here. Something is dirty. This needs to be washed. There is no milk left. We're out of milk. What comes next? I need to buy more. And after all your work is finished, now I can relax. This chapter is useful because the language can live inside your real home. You do not need to wait until your next English lesson to practice it. The next time you feel thirsty, say, "I need some water." When you smell food, say, "This smells really good." When your meal is too hot, say, "Let it cool down." When you finish eating, say, "I'm full now." When you are cleaning, say, "I need to clean up." When something is missing from the kitchen, say, "We're out of," and add the item. When all your tasks are finished, say, "Now I can relax." These small moments are important because they give your brain a real reason to use English. You can also practice by changing only one part of each sentence. Start with, "I need some water." Change it to, "I need some tea." Then, "I need some rest." Start with, "This tastes great." Change it to, "This smells great." Start with, "I'll make some tea." Change it to, "I'll make some coffee." Start with, "We're out of milk." Change it to, "We're out of bread." This is a very simple form of application, but it is powerful because you are no longer repeating exactly what you hear. You are creating a sentence that fits your own situation. You have now completed another important group of everyday English phrases. The first chapter helped you begin your day. This chapter helped you use English at home, around food, and during small daily tasks. These phrases are not complicated, but they are useful because they belong to situations you experience again and again. Keep the ones that match your life. Repeat them when the situation really happens. Over time, you want the English sentence to appear in your mind naturally when you need it. That is how a phrase becomes part of your speaking. You have now completed 50 of the 250 everyday English phrases. In the next chapter, we will move into work, study, time, and getting things done. You will learn natural phrases for being busy, checking your work, making small mistakes, taking breaks, finishing tasks, and managing your time in a simple and realistic way. Chapter 3. Getting Things Done. Now we are moving into another part of everyday life that almost everyone understands: having things to do and trying to finish them. Maybe you work in an office, study at school or college, work from home, run a business, take care of your family, or simply have many small responsibilities during the day. In all of these situations, You need simple English for talking about your work, your progress, your time, small mistakes, breaks, and things you still need to finish. The phrases in this chapter are especially useful because they can appear in many different places. You can use them with a coworker, teacher, friend, classmate, family member, or even when you are talking quietly to yourself. As always, do not try to memorize everything at once. First, listen to the phrase, then understand the real situation where someone would use it. After that, repeat it out loud. Finally, change a small part or imagine using it in your own life. This is how a short phrase moves from something you recognize to something you can actually use. I'm working on it. Imagine someone gives you a task and later asks, "Is it finished?" You are not finished yet, but you have already started. A very natural answer is, "I'm working on it." Repeat it slowly. "I'm working on it." Good. This phrase tells the other person that you have not forgotten the task. You are doing it now or actively trying to complete it. Maybe your teacher asks about an assignment. "I'm working on it." Maybe your manager asks about a report. "I'm working on it." Maybe a family member asks if you are fixing something. "I'm working on it." This is a simple phrase, but it can save you from giving a long explanation. Now make it more specific. "I'm working on the report." "I'm working on a new project." Choose one that fits your life and say it out loud. "I'm almost finished." Now imagine you have already done most of the task. Only a small part is left. You can say, "I'm almost finished." Repeat it naturally. "I'm almost finished." This phrase is useful when someone is waiting for you. Maybe a coworker asks, "Are you done?" You can answer, "I'm almost finished." Maybe your friend is waiting while you complete some work. "I'm almost finished. Give me 5 minutes." Notice how this phrase connects naturally with other phrases you already know. Now change it a little. "I'm almost finished with my homework." "I'm almost finished with this report." Very good. "I need to finish this first." Sometimes you have more than one thing to do. Someone may ask you to start another task, but you are still busy with the first one. You can say, "I need to finish this first." Repeat it. "I need to finish this first." The word first tells the other person that this task must come before the next one. Imagine a coworker asks, "Can you help me?" You can answer, "Yes, but I need to finish this first." Maybe your friend asks you to go outside, but you are studying. "I need to finish this first." This phrase helps you explain your priority without sounding rude. "I'll do it after lunch." Imagine you have a task, but you do not need to do it immediately. You decide to do it later, after you eat. You can say, "I'll do it after lunch." Repeat it slowly. Good. The useful pattern here is, "I'll do it after." You can change the time. "I'll do it after work." "I'll do it after class." "I'll do it after dinner." "I'll do it after this meeting." Now think about one thing you need to do later today and make a sentence that is true for you. "I have a lot to do." Some days feel full from the moment they begin. Maybe you have emails, meetings, studying, housework, shopping, phone calls, or other tasks. You can say, "I have a lot to do." Repeat it. Very good. This phrase means you have many responsibilities or tasks. Maybe someone asks, "Are you free this afternoon?" You can say, "Not really. I have a lot to do." Or maybe you wake up and look at your schedule. "I have a lot to do today," and say it naturally. Let us connect these first phrases into one realistic workday. Someone asks if your task is finished. "I'm working on it." A little later you say, "I'm almost finished." Another task arrives, but you answer, "I need to finish this first." You decide the new task can wait. "I'll do it after lunch." Then you look at everything on your desk and think, "I have a lot to do." These phrases are useful because they describe situations that happen every day. "I need to focus." Imagine you are trying to work or study, but your phone keeps distracting you. Maybe people are talking around you, or your mind keeps moving to other things. You can say, "I need to focus." Repeat it. "I need to focus." Focus means give your attention to one thing. You might say this to yourself before starting an important task. I need to focus for the next 30 minutes. Try that. Excellent. You can also say, I need to focus on my work, or I need to focus on this lesson. The phrase is short, but it can be useful whenever you need to concentrate. Let me check it again. Imagine you finish a piece of work, but before you send it or give it to someone, you want to look at it one more time. You can say, let me check it again. Repeat it slowly. Very good. Maybe you wrote an email. Let me check it again. Maybe you completed a form. Let me check it again. Maybe you solved a problem and want to make sure your answer is right. Let me check it again. The phrase let me is already familiar, and now you are using it in a work or study situation. That looks correct. After checking your work, everything seems right. You can say, that looks correct. Repeat it. Good. Maybe you are checking a number, a sentence, a document, or an answer. That looks correct. You can also say, this looks correct if you are looking at something close to you. Maybe a coworker shows you a form and asks, is this okay? You look at it and say, yes, that looks correct. This is simple, professional, and useful. I made a small mistake. Everyone makes mistakes when working, studying, speaking, writing, or learning something new. If you notice a mistake, you can simply say, I made a small mistake. Repeat it naturally. Very good. Maybe you wrote the wrong number. Maybe you clicked the wrong button. Maybe you used the wrong word. You do not need a long explanation. I made a small mistake. You can also be more specific. I made a mistake in this sentence. I made a mistake with a number. Now make one simple example yourself. I'll fix it. When you notice a mistake and know how to correct it, you can say, I'll fix it. Repeat it, I'll fix it. This phrase is extremely useful. Maybe your teacher finds an error in your work. Okay, I'll fix it. Maybe your coworker tells you something is wrong. Thanks, I'll fix it. Maybe something at home needs a small repair. I'll fix it. The exact action changes, but the phrase stays useful. Now imagine a realistic study situation. You sit down and tell yourself, I need to focus. You finish your work and think, let me check it again. Everything looks good, so you say, that looks correct. Then you notice one wrong word. I made a small mistake. No problem. I'll fix it. This is useful English because it helps you talk about progress without needing difficult vocabulary. Let me try again. Sometimes your first attempt does not work. Maybe you answer incorrectly, press the wrong button, pronounce a word badly, or cannot solve something the first time. You can say, let me try again. Repeat it. Excellent. This is especially useful for English learners. If you say a sentence and do not like how it sounds, you do not need to stop. Say, let me try again. Then repeat the sentence. This phrase gives you permission to keep going instead of becoming nervous about one mistake. I understand this part. Repeat it slowly. Good. This is a useful phrase in a classroom, meeting, training session, or lesson. You might say, I understand this part, but I need help with the next part. That is a very natural way to explain your understanding. Try the full sentence. Excellent. I need more information. Sometimes you cannot make a decision or finish a task because you do not know enough. You can say, I need more information. Repeat it. Very good. Maybe someone gives you a task but does not explain all the details. I need more information. Maybe you are thinking about buying something but want to know more first. I need more information. This phrase sounds clear and professional without being difficult. This is easier than I expected. Imagine you were worried about a task because you thought it would be difficult. Then you start and realize it is not so hard. You can say, this is easier than I expected. Repeat it slowly. Excellent. Expected means what you thought would happen before you started. Maybe your English exercise looks difficult, but after a few minutes you understand it. This is easier than I expected. Maybe you learn to use a new program and realize it is simple. Use the same phrase. This is taking longer than expected. Now imagine the opposite situation. You thought something would take 10 minutes, but 30 minutes later you are still working on it. You can say, "This is taking longer than expected." Repeat it. Good. This is natural English for work, travel, cooking, studying, or almost any task. Maybe someone is waiting and you need to explain the delay. Sorry, this is taking longer than expected. This tells them clearly that the task needs more time than you originally thought. Let us practice these ideas together. Your first attempt does not work. Let me try again. One section is clear. I understand this part. Another section needs more details. I need more information. Then you start working and realize, this is easier than I expected. Or maybe the opposite happens. This is taking longer than expected. These phrases help you explain what is happening while you learn or work. I'm taking a short break. Nobody can work or study continuously without stopping. Sometimes you need a few minutes to rest, stretch, drink water, or clear your mind. You can say, I'm taking a short break. Repeat it naturally. Very good. Maybe someone calls while you are away from your desk. I'm taking a short break. Maybe you have been studying for an hour. I'm taking a short break. You can change the time too. I'm taking a 10-minute break. That is a very useful sentence. Let's continue. After the break, it is time to return to the task. You can say, let's continue. Repeat it. Excellent. This phrase is useful when you are working or studying with another person or a group. Maybe a teacher says it after a short pause. Maybe coworkers are returning to a meeting. Let's continue. If you are alone, you can even say it quietly to yourself as a signal to begin again. I'll do it right away. Imagine someone gives you an important task that should be done now. You want to show that you will start immediately. You can say, I'll do it right away. Repeat it slowly. Good. Right away means immediately or without waiting. Maybe your manager asks you to send something. I'll do it right away. Maybe someone at home asks you to turn something off. I'll do it right away. This phrase shows quick action. I'll finish it later. Not everything needs to be completed immediately. Sometimes you need to stop and return to the task later. You can say, I'll finish it later. Repeat it. Very good. Maybe you have started reading something but need to leave. I'll finish it later. Maybe you are cleaning but have another responsibility. I'll finish it later. The word later is simple but very useful for talking about unfinished tasks. There's no hurry. Imagine another person is worried that they need to finish something immediately, but you know they have enough time. You can say, there's no hurry. Repeat it naturally. Excellent. This means they do not need to rush. Maybe someone says, I'll finish this as quickly as I can. You can answer, there's no hurry. Take your time. Try both sentences together. This phrase can make a conversation sound calm and friendly. Think about a normal afternoon. You have worked for a while and say, I'm taking a short break. 10 minutes later, let's continue. Someone sends you an urgent task and you answer, I'll do it right away. Another task is not urgent, so you decide, I'll finish it later. Your coworker worries about finishing something quickly and you say, there's no hurry. Notice how these phrases help you talk about time without complicated language. We still have time. Imagine you are working toward a deadline, but there is still enough time left. You can say, we still have time. Repeat it. Good. Maybe everyone is getting nervous before a meeting, but there are 20 minutes left. We still have time. If you are talking about yourself, you can say, I still have time. Try both. Very good. This phrase can help you sound calm and practical. I'm right on time. Imagine your meeting begins at 9 o'clock and you arrive exactly at 9. You can say, I'm right on time. Repeat it. Excellent. This means you are neither early nor late. Maybe you thought you might be late, but you arrived just when you need to. I'm right on time. This is a natural phrase for work, classes, appointments, travel, or meeting someone. I'm a few minutes late. Sometimes you do not arrive exactly on time. Maybe you are 3, 5, or 10 minutes late. You can say, I'm a few minutes late. Repeat it. Good. If you are sending a message, a natural sentence is, Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. Say it. Excellent. You already learned I'm running a little late, and now you have another way to explain a small delay. That's enough for today. Imagine you have been working or studying for several hours and decide that you have done enough. You can say, That's enough for today. Repeat it slowly. Very good. This does not always mean every task is finished. It simply means you are stopping for the day. Maybe you have studied English for 1 hour. That's enough for today. Maybe you have cleaned several rooms. That's enough for today. This is a natural phrase for ending a period of work. I learned something new today. At the end of the day, think about one thing you did not know before. Maybe it is a new word, a new skill, a new idea, or a better way to do something. You can say, I learned something new today. Repeat it. Excellent. This is a useful sentence because it helps you notice progress. You can make it more specific. I learned a new English phrase today. I learned how to use a new program today. Now think about something you learned recently and make your own sentence. Now let us bring the whole chapter together in one realistic day. Imagine you arrive at work or sit down to study. Someone asks about a task and you say, I'm working on it. After some time, I'm almost finished. Another task appears, but you explain, I need to finish this first. I'll do it after lunch. You look at your schedule and think, I have a lot to do. You put your phone aside and say, I need to focus. After finishing, let me check it again. Everything seems fine. That looks correct. Then you see one error. I made a small mistake. I'll fix it. Your first correction does not work. Let me try again. You understand one part clearly. I understand this part, but another part is unclear. I need more information. Maybe the job turns out to be simple. This is easier than I expected. Or perhaps it is slow. This is taking longer than expected. After some time, you say, I'm taking a short break. You drink some water, return, and say, Let's continue. Someone gives you something urgent. I'll do it right away. Another task can wait. I'll finish it later. A coworker worries about time, and you say, There's no hurry, we still have time. You look at the clock and realize, I'm right on time, or maybe, I'm a few minutes late. Finally, after a long day, you decide, That's enough for today. Before you leave, you think, I learned something new today. Now let us do a speaking challenge. I will describe the situation, and you try to say the useful phrase before I give it to you. Someone asks about a task you have started but not finished. I'm working on it. Only a small part remains. I'm almost finished. Someone gives you another task, but your current one must come first. I need to finish this first. You plan to do something after you eat. I'll do it after lunch. Your schedule is full. I have a lot to do. Your phone is distracting you. I need to focus. You want to look at your work one more time. Let me check it again. Everything appears right. That looks correct. You notice one small error. I made a small mistake. You know how to correct it. I'll fix it. Your first attempt does not work. Let me try again. One section is clear. I understand this part. You do not know enough to continue. I need more information. A task turns out to be simpler than you thought. This is easier than I expected. It needs much more time than you thought. This is taking longer than expected. You want to rest for a few minutes. I'm taking a short break. The break is over. Let's continue. Something needs to be done immediately. I'll do it right away. It can wait until later. I'll finish it later. Someone is rushing, but there is no need. There's no hurry. The deadline is not close yet. We still have time. You arrive exactly when you should. I'm right on time. You arrive a little after the planned time. I'm a few minutes late. You decide to stop working for the day. That's enough for today. And before ending the day, you realize you gained some knowledge. I learned something new today. Now take these phrases one step further and make them personal. Think about your own work or studies. Maybe right now you are learning English. You can say, I'm working on my English. Maybe you have been listening for a long time. I'm taking a short break. Maybe part of this lesson feels easy. This is easier than I expected. Maybe one expression needs more practice. Let me try again. Maybe you understand most of the lesson. I understand this part. And after completing this chapter, you can genuinely say, I learned something new today. This is how you take a phrase from the lesson and apply it to your own life. One more helpful practice is to use these phrases when a real task is happening. Do not wait until you sit down for an English lesson. When you begin working on something, quietly think, I'm working on it. When you are close to the end, say, I'm almost finished. When you notice a mistake, say, I made a small mistake, I'll fix it. When you take a break, say, I'm taking a short break. When you return, say, let's continue. At the end of the day, ask yourself if you learned anything new. Then say, I learned something new today. Even if you use only 3 or 4 of these phrases regularly, they can start becoming automatic. You have now completed 75 of the 250 everyday English phrases. You can already use English around your morning routine, your home, food, everyday tasks, work, study, mistakes, breaks, and time. More importantly, these phrases are beginning to connect with real situations instead of living only inside a lesson. In the next chapter, we will move into something almost everyone uses every day: phones, messages, calls, the internet, and simple technology English. You will learn natural phrases for missed calls, messages, weak connections, charging your phone, sending links, replying, and staying in touch with people. Chapter 4: Messages, Calls, and Technology. Now we are moving into a part of everyday life that almost everyone uses: phones, messages, calls, email, the internet, and simple technology. You may use your phone in the morning, during work, while traveling, while talking with family, or when you are relaxing at home. Because phones are such a normal part of daily life, the English in this chapter can be extremely useful. You may need to tell someone that you missed their call, that your battery is low, that your internet is slow, or that you will send something later. You may also need to ask someone to check a message, open a link, or wait while you call again. These are not difficult sentences, but they are phrases that people use again and again. As always, listen first, understand the real situation, repeat the phrase out loud, and then change a small part so it becomes useful for your own life. Do not worry about sounding perfect. The goal is to make these phrases feel familiar enough that when a real situation happens, the English can come to your mind quickly. I just saw your message. Imagine someone sent you a message earlier, but you were busy and did not notice it. Later, you open your phone and finally see it. You can say, I just saw your message. Repeat it slowly. I just saw your message. Very good. This is a natural sentence because it explains why you did not answer earlier. You can also say, sorry, I just saw your message. Try the full sentence. Excellent. Maybe it was an email instead. Then you can say, I just saw your email. Notice how easy it is to change one word and use the same pattern in a different situation. I'll text you later. Maybe you are busy right now and do not have time for a long conversation. You can say, I'll text you later. Repeat it naturally. Good. This means you plan to send the person a message after some time. You might be at work, driving, studying, or talking with someone else. Instead of disappearing without saying anything, you can write, I'll text you later. You can also say, I'll message you later. Both are common. Now imagine you are busy and a friend wants to chat. Say, I'll text you later. I'll call you back. Imagine someone calls you while you are busy. Maybe you are in a meeting, eating dinner, or somewhere noisy. You answer for a moment and say, I'll call you back. Repeat it. Excellent. This means you will end the current call and contact them again later. You can add a time if you know it. I'll call you back in 10 minutes. I'll call you back after work. Now choose one and say it. Very good. This phrase is useful in both personal and professional conversations. I missed your call. Imagine you look at your phone and see that someone called you, but you did not answer. You can say, I missed your call. Repeat it. Good. Maybe you call them back and begin with, Hi, I missed your call. You can also add a simple reason. I missed your call because I was working. Or, Sorry, I missed your call. My phone was on silent. This is realistic everyday English because missed calls happen all the time. I didn't hear my phone. Sometimes you miss a call because the phone was far away, the room was noisy, or the volume was low. You can say, I didn't hear my phone. Repeat it slowly. Excellent. This gives a simple explanation. You do not need a long story. Sorry, I didn't hear my phone. Now make the situation personal. Maybe your phone was in another room. You can say, I didn't hear my phone because it was in the kitchen. Very good. Let us put these first phrases into one realistic situation. Your friend messages you, but you do not notice immediately. Later you say, Sorry, I just saw your message. You are still busy, so you add, I'll text you later. A few minutes later, they call, but you cannot talk. You say, I'll call you back. Later, you notice another missed call and say, I missed your call, I didn't hear my phone. These phrases naturally connect because they describe normal communication problems. My phone is almost dead. Imagine you look at the battery and see only a few % left. A natural phrase is, my phone is almost dead. Repeat it. Very good. This does not mean your phone is broken. It means the battery is almost empty. Maybe you are talking to someone and want to explain that the call may end. You can say, My phone is almost dead. I need to charge it. Try the two sentences together. Excellent. I need to charge my phone. If your battery is low, this is the next useful phrase. Repeat. I need to charge my phone. Good. Maybe you are at home and looking for your charger. I need to charge my phone. Maybe you are outside and ask someone if there is a place to charge it. You can still use this sentence to explain what you need. Change it slightly. I need to charge my laptop. I need to charge my watch. The pattern works with many devices. Send it to me. Imagine someone has a photo, document, address, video, or piece of information that you want. You can say, send it to me. Repeat it. Very good. This is short and direct, so with friends or people you know well, it sounds natural. If you want to sound more polite, say, Can you send it to me, please? Try that. Excellent. Maybe someone tells you about a photo. Send it to me. Maybe they have the address of a restaurant. Can you send it to me? I'll send it now. Now imagine you are the person who has the information. Someone asks you to send it, and you are going to do it immediately. You can say, I'll send it now. Repeat it. Good. You can also say, I'll send you the photo now, or I'll send you the address now. This sentence is simple, but it is very useful in messaging and work conversations. I didn't get the message. Imagine someone says, I sent you the details, but nothing appears on your phone. You can say, I didn't get the message. Repeat it. Excellent. This means the message did not arrive or you did not receive it. Maybe it was an email. Then you can say, I didn't get the email. If it was a file, I didn't get the file. The same pattern can help you explain many simple communication problems. Now imagine you are outside and your battery is very low. My phone is almost dead. You think, I need to charge my phone. A friend has some information you need. Send it to me. They answer, I'll send it now. A minute later, nothing appears. You say, I didn't get the message. These are exactly the kinds of small situations that happen in real life. Check your phone. Imagine you just sent someone an important message, but they have not seen it yet. You can say, check your phone. Repeat it. Good. Maybe you sent them a photo, a location, or a code. You can say, I just sent it. Check your phone. Try both sentences together. Excellent. With friends and family, this sounds very natural. Let me look it up. This is a very useful phrase in modern English. Imagine someone asks you something, but you do not know the answer. Maybe they ask for a restaurant address, a word meaning, a train time, or information about a place. You can say, "Let me look it up." Repeat it slowly. Very good. Look it up means search for the information, usually online or in a book. Maybe someone asks, "What time does the store close?" You can say, "I'm not sure. Let me look it up." This phrase can help you in many situations. My internet is slow. Imagine a web page is taking a long time to open, a video keeps stopping, or a message is not sending quickly. You can say, "My internet is slow." Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe you are in an online lesson and cannot see the video clearly. "Sorry, my internet is slow." You can also say, "The internet is really slow today." Use the sentence that feels natural to you. "The connection is bad." Imagine you are on a phone call or video call, but the sound keeps stopping or the picture is not clear. You can say, "The connection is bad." Repeat it. Good. This phrase can describe a weak internet connection or poor call quality. Maybe you are talking to someone and hear only parts of their words. The connection is bad. This sentence tells the other person that the problem is technical, not that you are ignoring them. "I can hear you now." Imagine the connection improves and the other person's voice becomes clear again. You can say, "I can hear you now." Repeat it naturally. Great. Maybe at the beginning of the call you could not hear anything, but now it works. "Okay, I can hear you now." You can also say, "I can see you now," during a video call if the picture begins working. This is another example of how one simple pattern can be changed easily. Let us connect these phrases. You send someone something and tell them, "Check your phone." They ask for more information, so you say, "Let me look it up." You open the internet, but the page loads slowly. "My internet is slow." Then the call begins to break. The connection is bad. A few moments later, the sound becomes clear and you say, "I can hear you now." That is a realistic modern conversation. You're breaking up. This phrase is very common during phone calls. It means the other person's voice is stopping and starting because the connection is poor. Listen carefully. "You're breaking up." Repeat it. Very good. Imagine someone says, "I'll meet you at," but you only hear half the sentence. You can say, "Sorry, you're breaking up." This does not mean the person is emotionally upset. In a phone call situation, it means the audio is not clear. Context is important. "Let me call you again." If the connection is bad, sometimes the easiest solution is to end the call and start again. You can say, "Let me call you again." Repeat it. Good. You might also say, "The connection is bad. Let me call you again." This is clear and natural. Now imagine you are on a poor video call. Say the full sentence out loud. "I'll share it with you." Imagine you have a photo, video, document, link, or piece of information that another person wants. You can say, "I'll share it with you." Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe your friend asks for a useful video. "I'll share it with you." Maybe a coworker needs a file. "I'll share it with you." This phrase works well for digital information. "I saved your number." Imagine you meet someone new and they give you their phone number. After adding it to your contacts, you can say, "I saved your number." Repeat it. Good. This simply tells the person that their contact information is now stored in your phone. Maybe they ask, "Did you get my number?" You can answer, "Yes, I saved your number." Short and clear. "I'll send you the link." Imagine you are talking about a website, video, article, product, or online page. The other person wants to see it, so you can say, "I'll send you the link." Repeat it. Very good. You can add a time. "I'll send you the link now," or "I'll send you the link later." This is extremely common in everyday online communication. Now imagine you are on a call with a friend. Their voice starts disappearing. You say, "You're breaking up." The problem continues, so you say, Let me call you again. After reconnecting, you talk about a useful video. I'll share it with you. They give you a new phone number. I saved your number. Then you promise, I'll send you the link. Again, these are not random sentences. They are part of one realistic conversation. Open the message. Imagine you send someone important information, but they have not opened it yet. You can say, open the message. Repeat it. Good. If you want to sound softer, say, can you open the message? Maybe someone is confused because they cannot see a code or address. You can say, I sent it to you. Open the message and check. This is simple, practical English. Check your email. Imagine you send a document or confirmation by email. You can say, check your email. Repeat it naturally. Excellent. Maybe the other person asks, where did you send it? You answer, I sent it by email. Check your email. You can also say, check your inbox. But for beginners, check your email is simple and useful. I'll reply soon. Maybe someone sends you a long message, but you need time before you answer properly. You can say, I'll reply soon. Repeat it. Good. Maybe you are busy at work and someone sends an important email. You can write, I saw your message. I'll reply soon. This tells the person that you have not forgotten them. I'm online now. Imagine someone has been waiting for you to join a chat, call, meeting, or lesson. When you connect, you can say, I'm online now. Repeat it. Very good. This phrase is useful for online meetings, classes, gaming, chats, or work. You can also say, I'm here now, depending on the situation. Both are simple. Talk to you later. This is a very natural way to end a casual call or message conversation. Repeat it. Talk to you later. Excellent. It means the conversation is ending now, but you expect to communicate again later. You can say, okay, I have to go. Talk to you later. Try the whole sentence. Very good. You may also hear, talk to you soon, which has a similar meaning. Now let us put the entire chapter into one realistic day. You wake up and notice a message from a friend. Sorry, I just saw your message. You are busy getting ready, so you say, I'll text you later. A few minutes later, they call. You cannot talk for long, so you say, I'll call you back. Later, you notice another missed call. I missed your call. I didn't hear my phone. You look at the battery. My phone is almost dead. I need to charge my phone. A coworker has a document you need, so you say, send it to me. They answer, I'll send it now. Nothing arrives. I didn't get the message. They send it again and say, check your phone. You need more information about something, so you say, let me look it up. The web page loads slowly. My internet is slow. Then you start a call, but the sound is unclear. The connection is bad. Suddenly you hear the other person clearly. I can hear you now. A moment later, their voice starts stopping again. You're breaking up. Let me call you again. After the new call starts, you talk about a useful file. I'll share it with you. The person gives you their contact. I saved your number. You also promise, I'll send you the link. Later, you send another message and say, open the message. You send a document by email. Check your email. You are busy, so you tell someone, I'll reply soon. In the evening, you join an online conversation. I'm online now. When it is time to finish, you say, talk to you later. Now let us practice with situations. I will describe what is happening, and you try to say the useful English phrase before reading the answer. You notice a message much later than the person sent it. I just saw your message. You are busy and will message the person later. I'll text you later. You cannot continue a call right now. I'll call you back. Someone called, but you did not answer. I missed your call. You missed the call because you did not hear the phone. I didn't hear my phone. Your battery is very low. My phone is almost dead. What do you need to do? I need to charge my phone. Someone has a file you want. Send it to me. You are going to send something immediately. I'll send it now. The message never arrives. I didn't get the message. You have sent something to another person. Check your phone. You do not know an answer and want to search online. Let me look it up. Pages are loading very slowly. My internet is slow. A call is not clear. The connection is bad. The sound becomes clear again. I can hear you now. The other person's voice keeps stopping. You're breaking up. You decide to start the call again. Let me call you again. You have a useful file or video for someone. I'll share it with you. You added their contact information to your phone. I saved your number. You want to send a website or video page. I'll send you the link. You want the person to read what you sent. Open the message. You sent something by email. Check your email. You need a little time before answering. I'll reply soon. You have joined the online meeting. I'm online now. You are ending a casual conversation. Talk to you later. Now take a few of these phrases and change them for your own life. Start with, I'll text you later. Change it to, I'll call you later. Then, I'll email you later. Start with, send it to me. Change it to, send the photo to me. Or simply, send me the photo. Start with, my internet is slow. Change it to, my computer is slow. Start with, I'll send you the link. Change it to, I'll send you the photo. These small changes are important because they teach you that English phrases are not fixed lines you can only repeat. They are patterns you can use to create your own messages. You can practice this chapter throughout a normal day without adding any extra study time. When you notice a missed call, think, I missed your call. When your battery becomes low, say, I need to charge my phone. When you search for something online, think, let me look it up. If a video loads slowly, say, my internet is slow. If you send someone a link, say, I'll send you the link. When you finish a call, say, talk to you later. This kind of practice is powerful because the real situation tells you what the phrase means. You are not trying to remember a sentence in an empty room. You are using it when it naturally belongs. Also remember that you do not need to use every phrase every day. Some days you may not make a call. Some days your internet may work perfectly. That is fine. The goal is to recognize the phrase when the situation happens and to feel comfortable using it. If you remember only 5 phrases from this chapter at first, choose the 5 that match your life most often. Use those until they feel easy, then add more. You have now completed 100 of the 250 everyday English phrases. That is a major milestone. You can already use useful English when starting your day, being at home, preparing food, working, studying, managing time, using your phone, sending messages, making calls, and dealing with simple internet problems. The next step is to take your English outside these situations and use it while shopping, choosing products, talking about prices, sizes, payment, and buying things naturally. Keep listening, keep repeating, and most importantly, keep connecting every phrase with something you can actually imagine yourself saying. Chapter 5. Natural Shopping English. Now we are moving into another very practical part of everyday English, shopping. Almost everyone shops in some way. You may go to a supermarket, clothing store, market, pharmacy, shopping mall, or small local shop. You may also shop online. When you are shopping, you often need to talk about prices, sizes, colors, payment, quality, and the things you want or do not want. You may want to look around without buying anything. You may think something is too expensive. You may need a different size. You may decide to buy something, or you may change your mind. These situations happen all the time, so the English in this chapter can be extremely useful. As always, do not try to memorize everything in one moment. First, listen to the phrase. Then understand the real situation. Repeat it out loud. After that, change a small part so the phrase becomes useful for your own life. The goal is not to sound advanced. The goal is to sound clear, natural, and comfortable in a real shopping situation. I'm just looking. Imagine you walk into a store and a worker comes to you and asks if you need help. You are not ready to buy anything yet. You only want to look at the products. You can say, I'm just looking. Repeat it naturally. I'm just looking. Very good. This is one of the most useful shopping phrases because it politely tells the worker that you do not need help right now. You can also say, thanks, I'm just looking. Try the full sentence. Excellent. This sounds friendly and natural. This looks nice. Imagine you see a shirt, bag, pair of shoes, or something for your home, and you like the way it looks. You can say, this looks nice. Repeat it. Good. You can change the last word too. This looks good. This looks beautiful. This looks comfortable. But for a beginner, this looks nice is simple and very useful. Now imagine you are shopping with a friend and you show them something you like. Say, this looks nice. I like this one better. Imagine you are comparing two shirts or two bags. You like both, but one is more attractive to you. You can say, I like this one better. Repeat it slowly. Excellent. This means you prefer this option. Maybe one shirt is blue and one is black. You look at the black one and say, I like this one better. The phrase is useful because you do not need to explain a long reason. You can simply show your preference. That's a little too expensive. Imagine you really like something, but when you look at the price, it is higher than you want to pay. You can say, that's a little too expensive. Repeat it naturally. Very good. The words a little make the sentence softer. You are not saying the price is terrible. You are simply saying it is more than you want to spend. You can also say, it's too expensive for me. Try that too. Excellent. This one is cheaper. Maybe you compare two products and notice that one costs less money. You can say, this one is cheaper. Repeat it. Good. This is a very common phrase when comparing prices. Imagine one pair of shoes costs $50 and another costs $30. You can say, this one is cheaper. You can also say, that one is cheaper, depending on which product you are pointing to. The meaning stays simple. It costs less. Let us connect these first phrases into one realistic situation. You walk into a clothing store and a worker asks if you need help. You say, thanks, I'm just looking. A few minutes later, you see a jacket. This looks nice. Then you see another one and say, I like this one better. You check the price and think, that's a little too expensive. Then you see a similar jacket with a lower price. This one is cheaper. This is natural shopping English you can use almost immediately. That's a good price. Sometimes you find something you like and the price feels reasonable. You can say, that's a good price. Repeat it. Very good. Maybe you expected something to cost more, but the price is lower. That's a good price. You can also say, the price is good, but that's a good price is very natural in conversation. It's on sale. Imagine the normal price is higher, but the store has reduced it for a limited time. You can say, it's on sale. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe someone asks why you bought a shirt. You can say, it was on sale. Or while shopping, you may notice a sign and tell your friend, look, it's on sale. This phrase is short but extremely common. That's a good deal. A good deal means you are getting something for a good price or good value. Repeat, that's a good deal. Very good. Maybe a jacket is normally expensive, but today it costs much less. You might say, that's a good deal. You can use this phrase for clothes, electronics, furniture, food, or almost anything you buy. I need a different size. Imagine you try on a shirt, but it does not fit correctly. You can say, I need a different size. Repeat it slowly. Good. Maybe it is too small or too large. This sentence tells the store worker that you need another size. You can also be more specific. I need a larger size, or I need a smaller size. Try one of those now. This is too small. Imagine you try on a shirt, pair of shoes, or jacket, but it feels tight. You can say, "This is too small." Repeat it. Excellent. You can add, "I need a larger size." Say both together. "This is too small. I need a larger size." Very good. That sounds like a real store conversation. "This is too big." Now imagine the opposite. The item is loose or much larger than you need. You can say, "This is too big." Repeat it. Good. Then add, "I need a smaller size." Try the full pair. "This is too big. I need a smaller size." Excellent. Notice how easily you can compare two opposite situations. "This fits perfectly." Imagine you try something on and the size feels exactly right. You can say, "This fits perfectly." Repeat it naturally. Very good. Fits perfectly means it is exactly the right size for you. Maybe the shoes are comfortable and the size is correct. These fit perfectly. Notice that with shoes or trousers, you may use these because there is more than one part or because the noun is plural. But do not worry about grammar too much now. Focus on the natural sentence. "I'll take this one." Imagine you have made your decision and want to buy the item. You can say, "I'll take this one." Repeat it. Excellent. This is a very useful phrase when choosing between several products. Maybe the worker shows you 3 shirts. You decide which one you want and say, "I'll take this one." This clearly tells the worker that you are ready to buy it. Now imagine a realistic fitting room situation. You see a shirt with a low price and say, "That's a good price." Then you notice, "It's on sale." "That's a good deal." You try it on. "This is too small. I need a different size." The worker brings another one. "This is too big." Then you try the third size and smile. "This fits perfectly. I'll take this one." These phrases follow the exact order of a normal shopping experience. "I'll think about it." Sometimes you like something but are not ready to buy it. You want more time before deciding. You can say, "I'll think about it." Repeat it. Good. Maybe the worker asks, "Would you like to buy it?" You can answer, "I'll think about it." This phrase is polite and useful because it does not mean yes or no. It simply means you need more time. "I changed my mind." Imagine you decide to buy something, but a few minutes later you decide not to buy it. You can say, "I changed my mind." Repeat it naturally. Excellent. This means your decision is different now. Maybe you first choose the black bag, but then you prefer the brown one. "I changed my mind. I'll take the brown one." This phrase is useful in many situations, not only shopping. "I don't need a bag." Imagine you buy only one small item and already have your own bag. The worker asks if you need a shopping bag. You can say, "I don't need a bag." Repeat it. Very good. If you do want one, you can say, "Yes, please. I need a bag." Simple, clear, and useful. "I'll pay by card." Now you are at the checkout and need to pay. You can say, "I'll pay by card." Repeat it. Good. Maybe someone asks, "Cash or card?" You can answer, "I'll pay by card." If you use your phone to pay, you can say, "I'll pay with my phone." The pattern is easy to change. "I only have cash." Imagine the store asks how you want to pay, but you do not have a card with you. You can say, "I only have cash." Repeat it slowly. Excellent. This means cash is your only payment option. Maybe a place does not accept cards, and someone asks if that is okay. You can say, "Yes, I only have cash anyway." But for beginners, the simple phrase is enough. "I need the receipt." A receipt is the paper or digital record showing what you bought and how much you paid. You may need it for your records, for work, or in case you want to return the product. You can say, "I need the receipt." Repeat it. Very good. You can also say politely, "Can I have the receipt, please?" Try that sentence. Excellent. Let us connect these into a checkout situation. You look at an item but are not completely sure. "I'll think about it." A few minutes later, you decide to buy a different one. "I changed my mind." At the checkout, the worker asks if you need a bag. "I don't need a bag." Then they ask how you want to pay. "I'll pay by card." Or maybe today, I only have cash. Before leaving, you say, I need the receipt. This is natural, everyday shopping English. I think the price is wrong. Imagine you saw one price on the shelf, but at the checkout, the price is higher. You can politely say, I think the price is wrong. Repeat it. Good. Notice the words, I think. They make the sentence sound less aggressive. You are not accusing the worker. You are simply saying there may be a mistake. You can add, the sign said $20. This gives more information. I need another one. Imagine the product you picked up is damaged, broken, or not the one you want. You can say, I need another one. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe you are buying a bottle and notice the cap is damaged. I need another one. Maybe a pair of shoes has a mark on it. Can I get another pair? For beginners, I need another one is simple and very useful. Do you have something cheaper? Imagine you like a product, but the price is too high. You can ask, do you have something cheaper? Repeat it slowly. Good. This is a practical question in many stores. Maybe you are looking for a bag, phone, jacket, or gift. You want a similar option at a lower price. Do you have something cheaper? This phrase can help you continue shopping instead of simply leaving. I'm looking for something simple. Imagine a worker shows you several products, but they are too colorful, too fancy, or more than you need. You can say, I'm looking for something simple. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe you are choosing clothes. I'm looking for something simple. Maybe you want a basic bag or watch. This phrase helps you explain your preference without needing many adjectives. That's all for today. Imagine you have finished choosing what you want and do not need anything else. You can say, that's all for today. Repeat it. Good. Maybe a worker asks, anything else? You can answer, no, that's all for today. This is polite and natural. I'm done shopping. Finally, you have bought everything you need and are ready to leave. You can say, I'm done shopping. Repeat it naturally. Excellent. This means you have finished the shopping activity. Maybe you are messaging someone who is waiting for you. I'm done shopping. I'll meet you outside. Notice how this phrase can connect with phrases from earlier chapters. Now let us put the entire chapter into one realistic shopping trip. You enter a store and someone asks if they can help you. You say, thanks, I'm just looking. You see a shirt and think, this looks nice. Then you compare it with another one. I like this one better. You check the price and think, that's a little too expensive. You see another shirt and say, this one is cheaper, that's a good price. Then you notice the discount label. It's on sale, that's a good deal. You try it on, but it is too tight. This is too small, I need a different size. The next one is loose. This is too big. Finally, the worker brings the correct size. This fits perfectly, I'll take this one. Then you see another item you like, but you are not sure. I'll think about it. A few minutes later, you decide you do not want it. I changed my mind. At the checkout, the worker asks if you need a bag. I don't need a bag. They ask about payment. I'll pay by card, or maybe, I only have cash. You ask for the receipt. I need the receipt. Then you notice a problem. I think the price is wrong. The worker checks and corrects it. Maybe one item is damaged, so you say, I need another one. You want a lower cost option for another product. Do you have something cheaper? You explain, I'm looking for something simple. Finally, the worker asks if you need anything else. You answer, no, that's all for today. You leave the store and think, I'm done shopping. Now let us do a speaking challenge. I will describe the situation, and you try to say the useful phrase before you see the answer. A worker asks if you need help, but you only want to look around. I'm just looking. You see something attractive. This looks nice. You compare two products and prefer one. I like this one better. The price is higher than you want. That's a little too expensive. Another option costs less. This one is cheaper. The price feels reasonable. That's a good price. The normal price has been reduced. It's on sale. You are getting good value. That's a good deal. The size is not right. I need a different size. The item feels tight. This is too small. The item feels loose. This is too big. The size is exactly right. This fits perfectly. You decide to buy it. I'll take this one. You are not ready to decide. I'll think about it. Your decision becomes different. I changed my mind. The worker offers a bag, but you do not want one. I don't need a bag. You want to use your card. I'll pay by card. You do not have a card with you. I only have cash. You want proof of your purchase. I need the receipt. The checkout price does not match what you saw. I think the price is wrong. You need another product of the same kind. I need another one. The price is too high and you want a lower cost option. Do you have something cheaper? You want something basic and not complicated. I'm looking for something simple. You do not need anything else. That's all for today. And finally, when everything is finished, I'm done shopping. Now take some of these phrases and make them fit your own shopping habits. Start with, I'm looking for something simple. Change it to, I'm looking for something comfortable. Or, I'm looking for something cheap. Start with, I need a different size. Change it to, I need a larger size. Or, I need a smaller size. Start with, I'll pay by card. Change it to, I'll pay with cash. Start with, I'll take this one. Change it to, I'll take the blue one. These small changes are very important because this is where you stop only repeating and start creating simple English of your own. You can practice these phrases even if you are not shopping today. Look at products online and imagine the conversation. See something you like and say, this looks nice. Check the price. That's a little too expensive. Look at another product. This one is cheaper. Imagine buying clothes and say, I need a different size. Imagine making a decision. I'll take this one, or I'll think about it. You can turn any online store into an English practice lesson without buying anything. Another useful habit is to notice how short these phrases are. Real conversation is often made of short sentences. You do not need to say, I would like to inform you that this item appears to be more expensive than I expected. You can simply say, that's a little too expensive. You do not need to explain for 1 minute that you are not ready to buy. I'll think about it. You do not need difficult vocabulary to communicate successfully. Clear English is useful English. You have now completed 125 of the 250 everyday English phrases. You are exactly halfway through the full course. You can now use English when starting your day, being at home, eating, working, studying, managing time, using your phone, sending messages, and shopping in everyday situations. In the next chapter, we will move into friendly social conversation. You will learn natural phrases for reacting to what people say, showing interest, responding to good or difficult news, and keeping a conversation moving without needing long or complicated sentences. Chapter 6. Reactions and Keeping a Conversation Going. Now we are moving into one of the most important parts of real spoken English: how to keep a conversation going naturally. Up to this point, you have learned phrases for your morning, your home, food, work, study, phones, messages, and shopping. But when you speak with another person, knowing what to say about yourself is only one part of communication. You also need to know how to react to what the other person says. Someone tells you good news. What can you say? Someone shares a problem. How can you respond kindly? Someone tells you something interesting. How do you show that you are listening? These small reactions are what make a conversation feel alive. You do not always need a long answer. Sometimes a phrase such as, that sounds interesting, I know what you mean, or I'm happy to hear that, is enough to show the other person that you are listening and that you understand. In this chapter, we will practice 25 natural phrases that people use in friendly, everyday conversations. Listen to each phrase, understand the situation, repeat it, and then imagine yourself using it with a friend, coworker, neighbor, classmate, or family member. The goal is not to sound complicated. The goal is to sound present, interested, and natural. It's good to see you. Imagine you meet someone you know and you are genuinely happy to see them. Maybe it is a friend, coworker, neighbor, or relative. You can say, "It's good to see you." Repeat it naturally. "It's good to see you." Very good. This phrase is warm but simple. You can use it when you meet someone after a few days or after a much longer time. Someone may answer, "It's good to see you too." Try both sentences. "It's good to see you." "It's good to see you too." Excellent. This is a very natural way to begin a friendly conversation. It's been a while. Imagine you meet someone you have not seen for a long time. Maybe it has been several weeks, months, or even years. You can say, "It's been a while." Repeat it slowly. Good. This means a lot of time has passed since you last saw or spoke to the person. You might say, "Hi, it's been a while," or combine it with the previous phrase, "It's been a while. It's good to see you." That sounds very natural. You do not need to explain exactly how long it has been unless you want to. Things are going well. Now imagine someone asks how life is going. Maybe everything is generally okay. Work is fine, family is fine, and nothing serious is wrong. You can say, "Things are going well." Repeat it. Very good. This is more general than saying only, "I'm fine." It can describe your life, work, studies, or current situation. You can also say, "Things are going pretty well." Now imagine someone asks, "How are things?" You answer, "Things are going well." Simple, natural, and useful. "I've been pretty busy." Maybe life is okay, but you have had many responsibilities recently. You can say, "I've been pretty busy." Repeat it naturally. Excellent. Pretty busy here means quite busy. Maybe someone says, "I haven't seen you lately." You can answer, "Yeah, I've been pretty busy." You can make it more specific. "I've been pretty busy with work," or "I've been pretty busy with my studies." Choose one that matches your life and say it. Nothing much is new. Sometimes someone asks what is new, but there is no big news. You can say, "Nothing much is new." Repeat it. Good. This means life is continuing normally. Maybe someone says, "What's new with you?" You answer, "Nothing much is new. I've just been working." This is a very realistic response because not every conversation needs exciting news. Now imagine meeting an old friend. You smile and say, "It's good to see you." Then, "It's been a while." They ask how things are. You answer, "Things are going well. I've been pretty busy." They ask if anything new has happened. Nothing much is new. Notice how these 5 phrases create a completely natural opening to a real conversation. That sounds interesting. Imagine someone starts telling you about a new job, book, trip, hobby, or experience. You want to show that you are interested. You can say, "That sounds interesting." Repeat it slowly. Very good. This phrase does not mean you already know everything about the topic. It means the idea has caught your attention. Maybe your friend says, "I started taking a photography class." You can answer, "That sounds interesting." This encourages them to keep talking. "Tell me more about it." If you are genuinely interested and want more information, you can say, "Tell me more about it." Repeat it. Excellent. Imagine someone says, "I'm starting a new project next week." You can respond, "Really? Tell me more about it." This is a powerful conversation phrase because it gives the other person space to speak. You do not need to immediately change the topic or talk about yourself. "I know what you mean." Imagine someone describes a feeling or situation that you understand from your own experience. You can say, "I know what you mean." Repeat it naturally. Good. Maybe someone says, "I always feel tired after a long day at work." You can answer, "I know what you mean." It shows that you understand their experience. Maybe they say, "It's hard to study when you're tired." Again, "I know what you mean." This phrase can make a conversation feel more connected. That happens to me too. This phrase is useful when someone describes something that you experience as well. Repeat, that happens to me too. Very good. Imagine your friend says, sometimes I forget where I put my phone. You laugh and say, that happens to me too. Maybe they say, I get nervous when I speak in front of people. You can answer, that happens to me too. This tells the person they are not alone in the experience. I was thinking the same thing. Imagine someone gives an opinion and you realize you were already thinking exactly that. You can say, I was thinking the same thing. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe you and a friend are deciding where to eat. Your friend says, maybe we should try the new restaurant. You can answer, I was thinking the same thing. This sounds more natural than only saying yes. Let us put these into a realistic conversation. Your friend says, I started learning how to cook. You answer, that sounds interesting. They begin explaining it and you say, tell me more about it. They say, at first everything takes a long time. You respond, I know what you mean. That happens to me too. Then they say, I think cooking gets easier with practice. You smile and say, I was thinking the same thing. This is how short reaction phrases can keep a conversation moving for much longer. That makes sense. This is one of the most useful reaction phrases in English. Imagine someone explains their reason for doing something, and now you understand. You can say, that makes sense. Repeat it naturally. Very good. For example, someone says, I study English in the morning because my mind is fresh then. You answer, that makes sense. They explain that they take the bus because parking is expensive. That makes sense. It shows that you understand their reasoning. I didn't know that. Imagine someone tells you new information. You had never heard it before. You can say, I didn't know that. Repeat it. Good. Maybe a friend tells you, this cafe opens at 6 in the morning. You answer, I didn't know that. Maybe someone tells you a fact about a place or person. Again, I didn't know that. This is a very natural reaction to new information. That's good to know. Sometimes new information is not only interesting, it is useful. You can say, that's good to know. Repeat it. Excellent. Imagine someone tells you, the supermarket stays open until 10 tonight. You need groceries, so you answer, that's good to know. Maybe a coworker says, you can submit the form online. You say, that's good to know. It tells them the information is helpful. Really? That's interesting. Sometimes you want to show surprise and interest together. You can say, really? That's interesting. Repeat it naturally. Very good. Imagine someone says, I learned English mostly by listening to podcasts. You might respond, really? That's interesting. The word really shows that the information got your attention, and that's interesting keeps the conversation open. That sounds great. Imagine someone tells you about a positive plan or idea. You can say, that sounds great. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe a friend says, we're going to the beach this weekend. You answer, that sounds great. Maybe someone says, I'm going to take a few days off and rest. Again, that sounds great. You are reacting positively without needing a long response. Now imagine someone tells you, I started exercising in the morning because I have more energy then. You say, that makes sense. They tell you the gym opens very early. I didn't know that. They add that beginners can try the first class for free. That's good to know. Then they explain that they have already made some new friends there. Really? That's interesting. Finally, they say they are going on a group walk this weekend. That sounds great. These phrases make you sound engaged without requiring difficult English. That's amazing. Imagine someone tells you something especially impressive or exciting. You can say, that's amazing. Repeat it. Very good. Maybe a friend says they learned to run 10 kilometers. That's amazing. Maybe someone tells you they received an important opportunity. That's amazing. This phrase shows stronger excitement than simply saying, that's good. I'm happy to hear that. Imagine someone tells you good news. Maybe they are feeling better, they passed an exam, their new job is going well, or a family problem has been solved. You can say, I'm happy to hear that. Repeat it slowly. Excellent. This phrase sounds kind and supportive. For example, someone says, my mother is feeling much better now. You can answer, I'm happy to hear that. This shows that their good news matters to you. I'm sorry to hear that. Now imagine the opposite. Someone tells you disappointing or difficult news. Maybe they had a bad day, missed an opportunity, or are dealing with a problem. You can say, I'm sorry to hear that. Repeat it. Good. This phrase does not mean you caused the problem. It means you feel sympathy for the person. Maybe someone says, I didn't get the job. You can respond, I'm sorry to hear that. Keep your voice calm and sincere. That sounds difficult. Sometimes someone describes a hard situation, and you want to show that you understand it is not easy. You can say, that sounds difficult. Repeat it. Very good. Maybe a friend says, I'm working full-time and studying at night. You can say, that sounds difficult. Maybe someone has a long journey to work every day. Again, that sounds difficult. This shows empathy without pretending you know exactly how they feel. I can imagine. Imagine someone describes an experience and you want to show that you understand why it would feel a certain way. You can say, I can imagine. Repeat it. Excellent. Someone says, I was so tired after traveling all day. You answer, I can imagine. Maybe they say, the office was very busy today. I can imagine. This is a gentle response that shows understanding. Now imagine your friend gives you some good news. I finally got the promotion. You answer, that's amazing. I'm happy to hear that. Later, another person tells you, I didn't pass the test. You respond, I'm sorry to hear that. They explain that they were also working every night. You say, that sounds difficult. They tell you how tired they were. I can imagine. Notice how different situations need different reactions. Good communication is not only about words, it is also about choosing a response that fits the other person's experience. That's surprising. Sometimes you hear something you did not expect. You can say, that's surprising. Repeat it naturally. Good. Maybe someone says, the restaurant was completely empty on Friday night. You expected it to be busy, so you say, that's surprising. Maybe a friend says a difficult test was actually very easy. Again, that's surprising. It simply shows that the information is different from what you expected. That's a good idea. Imagine someone suggests something useful or practical. You can say, that's a good idea. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe someone says, let's leave early so we can avoid traffic. You answer, that's a good idea. Maybe your friend says, I'm going to practice English for 10 minutes every morning. You can respond, that's a good idea. This phrase is simple, positive, and very common. I hope it goes well. Imagine someone is going to do something important soon. Maybe they have an interview, exam, meeting, trip, presentation, or appointment. You can say, I hope it goes well. Repeat it slowly. Very good. This phrase shows that you want a good result for them. Maybe your friend says, I have a job interview tomorrow. You answer, I hope it goes well. This is a warm and supportive response. I'm glad it worked out. Imagine someone had a problem, but in the end, everything became okay. You can say, I'm glad it worked out. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe they had trouble with a booking, but the hotel fixed it. I'm glad it worked out. Maybe their phone stopped working, but they repaired it. I'm glad it worked out. This phrase is especially useful when a difficult situation has a good ending. It was nice talking with you. Finally, imagine your conversation is ending. Maybe you need to leave, go back to work, or continue your day. A polite and friendly way to end is, it was nice talking with you. Repeat it naturally. Very good. The other person may answer, it was nice talking with you too. Try both sentences. This phrase is especially useful when speaking with someone you do not see every day, such as a new coworker, neighbor, classmate, or someone you have just met. Now let us put the entire chapter into one long, realistic conversation. Imagine you see an old friend in a cafe. You smile and say, "It's good to see you. It's been a while." They tell you that life is going well, and you say, "Things are going well for me too. I've been pretty busy. Nothing much is new." Your friend says they recently started a new course. You respond, "That sounds interesting. Tell me more about it." They explain that studying after work can be tiring. You answer, "I know what you mean. That happens to me too." Then they say, "I think studying a little every day works better than studying for hours once a week." You say, "I was thinking the same thing. That makes sense." They tell you the course includes free speaking practice. "I didn't know that." "That's good to know." Then they explain that students from many countries are taking the course. "Really? That's interesting." They say they are planning to meet some classmates this weekend. "That sounds great." Then they tell you that one classmate improved incredibly quickly. "That's amazing." Your friend says their own speaking is becoming much easier too. "I'm happy to hear that." Later, they mention that another student had to stop the course because work became too busy. "I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds difficult." Your friend explains that the student was working 12-hour days. "I can imagine." Then they tell you something unexpected about the course. "That's surprising." They suggest that you could try one lesson too. "That's a good idea." They tell you they have an important speaking test next week. "I hope it goes well." They explain that a problem with their registration has already been fixed. "I'm glad it worked out." Finally, you look at the time and need to leave. You smile and say, "It was nice talking with you." That is a complete friendly conversation built almost entirely from simple phrases. Now let us do a speaking challenge. Imagine you meet someone you know and you are happy to see them. What can you say? "It's good to see you." You have not seen them for a long time. "It's been a while." Life is generally good. Things are going well. You have had many responsibilities recently. "I've been pretty busy." There is no important new news. Nothing much is new. Someone tells you about a new activity and it catches your attention. "That sounds interesting." You want them to continue. "Tell me more about it." You understand the experience they are describing. "I know what you mean. The same thing happens to you. That happens to me too." They say exactly what you were already thinking. "I was thinking the same thing." Their explanation is logical. "That makes sense." They give you information you did not know. "I didn't know that." The information is useful. "That's good to know." You are surprised and interested. "Really? That's interesting." Their plan sounds positive. "That sounds great." Something is especially impressive. "That's amazing." They tell you good news. "I'm happy to hear that." They tell you difficult news. "I'm sorry to hear that." Their situation sounds hard. "That sounds difficult." You understand why they feel tired or stressed. "I can imagine." Something is different from what you expected. "That's surprising." Someone gives a useful suggestion. "That's a good idea." They have something important coming soon. "I hope it goes well." Their problem has been solved. "I'm glad it worked out." And when it is time to leave, "It was nice talking with you." Now take these reactions and make them part of your own conversations. This is where the application becomes important. Imagine a friend tells you, "I started reading an English story every night." You could say, "That's a good idea." Then add, "I hope it goes well." Imagine someone tells you, "I'm very tired because work has been busy all week." You can say, "I know what you mean. That sounds difficult." Imagine someone says, "My English teacher told me to speak for 10 minutes every day." You can answer, "That makes sense. I was thinking the same thing." Imagine someone tells you, "I passed my exam." You can say, "That's amazing. I'm happy to hear that." The important thing is to choose a reaction that matches what the person just said. A very powerful speaking habit is to stop trying to create a long response every time someone talks. Beginners sometimes become nervous because they think every answer must be long and perfect. It does not. Real conversation often moves through small reactions. Someone says something, you say, "Really?" They add more information. You say, "That's interesting." They explain why. You say, "That makes sense." Then you ask them to continue. "Tell me more about it." You have now kept the conversation moving with very simple English. You can practice this while watching English videos too. When someone in a video says something interesting, pause and react. "That's interesting." If they explain a useful idea, that makes sense. If something surprises you, that's surprising. If someone shares good news, that's amazing. You do not need another person physically beside you to begin training these reactions. The goal is to make them come to your mind quickly when you hear the right situation. Also pay attention to your voice. The words may be simple, but your tone helps show your meaning. If someone gives you wonderful news and you say, "That's amazing," with no emotion, the words may feel strange. If someone shares difficult news, "I'm sorry to hear that," should sound gentle and calm. Natural speaking is not only pronunciation, it is also learning how a phrase feels in the situation where you use it. You have now completed 150 of the 250 everyday English phrases. You are well beyond the halfway point. You can now use simple English in your morning routine, around your home, with food, at work or while studying, on your phone, while shopping, and now during friendly social conversations. More importantly, you are learning how to listen and respond, which is one of the biggest steps toward real conversational English. In the next chapter, we will continue with opinions, choices, preferences, invitations, and making plans. You will learn simple ways to agree, disagree politely, choose between options, accept or decline invitations, and talk naturally about what you would like to do. Chapter 7: Preferences, Decisions, and Invitations. Now we are moving into another very important part of everyday conversation: sharing your opinion, making simple choices, talking about your preferences, and making plans with other people. These situations happen constantly. A friend may ask which restaurant you prefer. A coworker may share an idea, and you may agree with it. Someone may suggest a movie that you do not really enjoy. A friend may invite you somewhere, but you may already have plans. Sometimes you want to say yes enthusiastically. Sometimes you want to say no politely without making the other person feel uncomfortable. These small situations can be difficult for beginners because knowing the meaning of the words is not always enough. You also need natural phrases that fit the situation. In this chapter, we will practice simple expressions that help you agree, disagree gently, choose between options, explain your preferences, accept invitations, and decline them politely. Listen carefully to every phrase. Understand when people really use it. Repeat it out loud, and then imagine how you could use it in your own life. You do not need long answers. A short phrase with the right meaning can keep a conversation moving naturally. "I totally agree." Imagine someone says something and you strongly feel the same way. You can say, "I totally agree." Repeat it naturally. "I totally agree." Very good. The word totally makes the agreement stronger. Maybe your friend says, "Practicing English every day is better than practicing once a month." You can say, "I totally agree." Maybe someone says, "This place is much quieter in the morning." Again, "I totally agree." You do not need to explain everything immediately. Sometimes this short response is enough. If you want to add a reason, you can say, "I totally agree." Daily practice really helps. Try the full response. "I think so too." This is another very common way to agree, but it sounds a little softer. Imagine your friend says, "I think this restaurant is better than the other one." You can answer, "I think so too." Repeat it. Good. Maybe someone says, "It looks like it's going to rain." You look outside and say, "I think so too." This phrase is especially useful when another person begins with, "I think," and you share the same opinion. That's true. Sometimes another person says something that you recognize as correct. You can say, "That's true." Repeat it naturally. Excellent. Maybe your friend says, "Learning a language takes time." You answer, "That's true." Maybe your coworker says, "The roads are usually busy at this time." You can say, "That's true." This is a short phrase, but it shows that you are listening and agreeing with the point they made. You have a point. Imagine you do not completely agree with someone, but one part of what they say makes sense. You can say, "You have a point." Repeat it slowly. Very good. Maybe you want to eat at a restaurant, but your friend says, "Eating at home will save money." You still like the restaurant idea, but you understand their reason. You can say, "You have a point." This is useful because conversations are not always simply yes or no. Sometimes you can recognize that another person has a good reason even if you are still thinking. "I'm not completely sure." Imagine someone asks for your opinion, but you have not made a clear decision yet. You can say, "I'm not completely sure." Repeat it. Good. Maybe someone asks, "Do you think this is the best option?" You can answer, "I'm not completely sure." This sounds natural and honest. You do not need to pretend that you know the answer. You can also add, "I need to think about it." Try the two sentences together. "I'm not completely sure. I need to think about it." Now imagine a simple conversation. Someone says, "I think studying a little every day is more useful." You respond, "I totally agree." They say, "It's easier to remember things that way." You answer, "I think so too. That's true." Then they suggest studying early in the morning, but you are not sure that works for everyone. You can say, "You have a point, but I'm not completely sure." Notice how you can agree strongly, agree softly, or show uncertainty without making the conversation difficult. I see it differently. Sometimes you understand what another person is saying, but your opinion is different. Instead of saying something harsh, you can say, "I see it differently." Repeat it naturally. Very good. Maybe someone says, "Online learning is always better than classroom learning." You may not agree. You can say, "I see it differently. I think both can be useful." This phrase is polite because you are not saying the other person is wrong. You are simply explaining that your view is different. "I don't think so." This is a simple way to disagree when you believe something is probably not true. Repeat it. "I don't think so." Good. Maybe someone says, "I think the store closes at 6. You believe it closes at 9, so you say, "I don't think so. I think it stays open later." Or your friend says, "We're going to be late." You check the time and say, "I don't think so. We still have plenty of time." This phrase is common, but your voice should stay calm and friendly. It depends on the situation. Sometimes there is no single answer because the best choice changes depending on what is happening. You can say, "It depends on the situation." Repeat it slowly. Excellent. Imagine someone asks, "Is it better to travel by car or by bus?" You may say, "It depends on the situation." A car may be easier in one place, while a bus may be cheaper somewhere else. Someone asks, "Is it better to study in the morning or at night?" Again, it depends on the situation. This phrase is extremely useful when both answers can be correct. "That's just my opinion." Imagine you share your personal view but want to show that you understand other people may think differently. You can say, "That's just my opinion." Repeat it. Good. Maybe you say, "I prefer learning through listening because it feels more natural. That's just my opinion." This phrase can make disagreements feel softer because you are not saying everyone must agree with you. "I'd rather stay home." Now we are moving from general opinions into personal preferences. Imagine your friends want to go out, but you feel tired and would prefer to stay at home. You can say, "I'd rather stay home." Repeat it naturally. Very good. "I'd rather" is a useful way to say what you prefer in a particular situation. You can say, "I'd rather walk." "I'd rather wait." "I'd rather eat at home." Now make one sentence that matches your own preference. Let us connect these phrases. Your friend says, I think everyone should go out every weekend. You do not completely agree, so you say, I see it differently. They say, staying home is boring. You answer, I don't think so. They ask whether going out is always better. It depends on the situation. Then you explain, sometimes I prefer a quiet evening. That's just my opinion. Tonight, you are especially tired, so you say, I'd rather stay home. These responses allow you to express disagreement without turning a friendly conversation into an argument. That's not really my thing. Imagine someone suggests an activity you do not enjoy very much. Maybe they want to go dancing, watch a certain kind of movie, or play a sport that does not interest you. You can say, that's not really my thing. Repeat it. Excellent. This is a softer way of saying that something is not your preference. Maybe someone says, do you want to go to a very loud concert? You can answer, that's not really my thing. You are not saying the activity is bad. You are simply saying it is not for you. I'm a big fan of this. Now imagine the opposite. Something is exactly the kind of thing you enjoy. You can say, I'm a big fan of this. Repeat it naturally. Good. You could also be more specific. I'm a big fan of comedy movies. I'm a big fan of this restaurant. I'm a big fan of simple English lessons. This phrase means you like something a lot. I don't mind either way. Imagine someone gives you two choices, but both are acceptable to you. Maybe they ask, do you want to eat inside or outside? You can say, I don't mind either way. Repeat it slowly. Very good. This means you are comfortable with either choice. It is useful when you truly do not have a strong preference. Either one is fine with me. This phrase has a similar meaning. Imagine two friends are choosing between two restaurants and ask which one you want. If you are happy with both, you can say, either one is fine with me. Repeat it. Excellent. Either one means the first choice or the second choice. You can also say, either time is fine with me. If someone gives you two possible meeting times, I'd choose this one. Imagine you are asked to make a decision between two or more options. You can say, I'd choose this one. Repeat it. Good. Maybe you are comparing two phones, shirts, hotels, or restaurants. You look at one and say, I'd choose this one. This sounds slightly softer than, I choose this one, and works very naturally when giving advice or expressing a preference. Now imagine you are planning an evening with friends. Someone suggests going to a noisy club. You say, that's not really my thing. Then they suggest a quiet cafe. You smile and say, I'm a big fan of this place. Your friends ask whether you want to sit inside or outside. I don't mind either way. Either one is fine with me. Then they show you two tables and ask which you prefer. I'd choose this one. These phrases help you participate in decisions without needing long explanations. It depends on my mood. Repeat it naturally. Very good. Maybe someone asks, do you prefer staying home or going out? You might say, it depends on my mood. On some days you want to meet people. On other days you want to relax alone. Someone asks, do you prefer music or movies? Again, it may depend on your mood. This is a very natural answer. I'd like to try it sometime. Imagine someone talks about a restaurant, activity, food, or place you have never tried, but it sounds interesting. You can say, I'd like to try it sometime. Repeat it slowly. Excellent. Maybe your friend says, there's a new restaurant near my office. You say, I'd like to try it sometime. Maybe someone tells you about hiking. I'd like to try it sometime. The phrase shows interest without making a definite plan yet. Are you free later? Now we are moving into making real plans. Imagine you want to meet or talk with someone later in the day. You can ask, are you free later? Repeat it. Good. This is short and natural. Maybe you want to have coffee with a friend. Are you free later? Maybe you need to talk with a coworker after work. Again, are you free later? If you want to be more specific, say, are you free this evening? Or, are you free after work? Let's do something this weekend. Imagine you have not made any weekend plans yet, but you want to spend time with someone. You can say, let's do something this weekend. Repeat it naturally. Very good. This does not decide exactly what you will do. It simply opens the conversation. Your friend may answer, sure. What do you want to do? Then you can make a more specific plan. I'd love to come. Imagine someone invites you somewhere and you are genuinely happy to accept. You can say, I'd love to come. Repeat it with a friendly voice. Excellent. Maybe someone says, we're having dinner on Friday. Would you like to join us? You answer, I'd love to come. This sounds warmer and more enthusiastic than just saying, okay. Think about how a plan can begin naturally. Your friend tells you about a new cafe. You say, I'd like to try it sometime. Then you ask, are you free later? Maybe today is difficult, so you suggest, let's do something this weekend. Your friend invites you to join a small group on Saturday, and you answer, I'd love to come. 4 simple phrases have now created a real social plan. I wish I could. Sometimes you want to accept an invitation, but you cannot. Maybe you have work, family responsibilities, or another appointment. Instead of simply saying no, you can say, I wish I could. Repeat it gently. Very good. This means you would like to go, but something is stopping you. Maybe someone says, can you come to dinner tonight? You answer, I wish I could, but I have to work. This sounds polite and shows that you appreciate the invitation. Maybe another time. If you cannot accept an invitation today but want to keep the possibility open, say, maybe another time. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe someone asks you to have coffee, but you are too busy. I can't today. Maybe another time. This is a friendly way to decline without making the other person feel rejected. I already have plans. Sometimes you cannot accept because your schedule is already full. You can say, I already have plans. Repeat it naturally. Good. You do not always need to explain exactly what those plans are. Maybe someone says, are you free Saturday night? You answer, sorry, I already have plans. This is simple, clear, and polite. I'm looking forward to it. Now imagine you have made a plan and you feel happy or excited about it. You can say, I'm looking forward to it. Repeat it slowly. Very good. Maybe you are meeting a friend on Saturday. You can message them, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe you have a trip next week. I'm really looking forward to it. This phrase is useful when you are excited about something that is going to happen. See you then. Finally, imagine the plan is clear. You have decided the day, time, and place. A natural way to finish the conversation is, see you then. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe your friend says, let's meet at the cafe at 6. You answer, perfect. See you then. This phrase confirms the plan and ends the conversation naturally. Now let us put these final invitation phrases into 2 different realistic situations. In the first one, a friend says, we're going to a new restaurant tonight. Do you want to come? You want to go, but you have work. You answer, I wish I could, but I have to work. Maybe another time. Your friend understands. That is a polite decline. In another situation, someone asks, are you free on Saturday? You are free, so they invite you to lunch. You say, I'd love to come. They tell you the time and place. You answer, great, I'm looking forward to it. See you then. Notice how both conversations are friendly, even though one invitation is declined and the other is accepted. Now let us build one longer and more realistic conversation using many phrases from this chapter. Imagine you are talking with a friend about how to spend the weekend. Your friend says, I think we should go somewhere outside the city. You like the idea, so you say, I totally agree. Another friend says, the weather should be nice too. You answer, I think so too. That's true. Someone suggests leaving very early in the morning. You are not completely convinced, so you say, you have a point, but I'm not completely sure. Another person says everyone should wake up at 5. You answer, I see it differently. I don't think so. We can leave a little later. Someone asks whether traveling early is always better. You say, It depends on the situation. That's just my opinion. Then one friend suggests spending the entire night outside, but you are tired from work. I'd rather stay home at night. Someone suggests going to a loud event. That's not really my thing. Then they mention a quiet restaurant you love. I'm a big fan of that place. They ask whether you want lunch or dinner. I don't mind either way. Either one is fine with me. They show you two possible restaurants. I'd choose this one. Someone asks whether you always prefer quiet places. It depends on my mood. Then your friend talks about a new food you have never tried. I'd like to try it sometime. You ask, are you free later? They are busy today, so you say, let's do something this weekend. They invite you to join them on Sunday. I'd love to come. Another friend cannot attend and says, I wish I could. Maybe another time. I already have plans. Your plan is finally decided and you say, I'm looking forward to it. See you then. This is a complete social conversation built from simple beginner English. Now let us do a speaking challenge. I will give you a situation and you try to say the natural phrase before you read the answer. You strongly agree with someone. I totally agree. You share the same opinion. I think so too. Someone says something correct. That's true. You understand that part of their argument is reasonable. You have a point. You have not made a clear decision. I'm not completely sure. Your opinion is different. I see it differently. You believe something probably is not true. I don't think so. The answer changes depending on the circumstances. It depends on the situation. You want to make clear that you are only sharing your personal view. That's just my opinion. You prefer staying at home. I'd rather stay home. An activity is not something you enjoy. That's not really my thing. You like something very much. I'm a big fan of this. You have no strong preference between two options. I don't mind either way. Both choices are acceptable. Either one is fine with me. You are asked which option you would pick. I'd choose this one. Your preference changes depending on how you feel. It depends on my mood. Something sounds interesting, but you have never done it. I'd like to try it sometime. You want to know whether someone has time later. Are you free later? You want to make a weekend plan. Let's do something this weekend. You are happy to accept an invitation. I'd love to come. You want to accept but cannot. I wish I could. You cannot go now but may want to later. Maybe another time. Your schedule is already full. I already have plans. You are excited about an upcoming plan. I'm looking forward to it. And when the meeting time is agreed, see you then. Now take these phrases and apply them to your own life. Think about food. Maybe someone asks, would you rather eat at home or at a restaurant? You might say, it depends on my mood. Think about entertainment. Someone asks if you enjoy horror movies. Maybe you answer, that's not really my thing. Think about an activity you love. I'm a big fan of football, or I'm a big fan of reading. Think about two options you do not care much about. Either one is fine with me. Think about something you have never tried. I'd like to try it sometime. These are your sentences now, not only lines from the lesson. There is another important skill in this chapter: saying no without sounding unfriendly. Beginners sometimes think they must choose between a strong yes and a strong no. Real conversation gives you softer options. If someone invites you and you cannot go, you can say, I wish I could, but I already have plans. Then add, maybe another time. That answer is clear, but it also shows that you appreciate the invitation. You do not need a complicated explanation. A few polite phrases are enough. The same is true when you disagree. You do not always need to say, you are wrong. In fact, that can sound much stronger than you intend. You can say, I see it differently, or I'm not completely sure. You can recognize part of the other person's idea by saying, you have a point. Then share your own view. That's just my opinion. These phrases make your English more useful because they help you communicate not only information, but also respect. One useful practice is to take one topic and give yourself two different answers. Ask yourself, would I rather go out tonight or stay home? On a tired day, say, I'd love to go out. Ask, do I prefer tea or coffee? Maybe say, I'd choose tea. Ask, would I like to try a new restaurant? I'd like to try it sometime. This kind of practice helps you create simple answers instead of only repeating memorized sentences. You have now completed 175 of the 250 everyday English phrases. You can now do much more than describe your day. You can agree, disagree politely, express uncertainty, talk about preferences, make choices, invite someone, accept a plan, decline politely, and show excitement about something coming soon. These are essential parts of real conversation because everyday English is full of small decisions and social plans. In the next chapter, we will move into travel, transportation, and public places. You will learn natural English for being on your way, waiting for transport, missing a stop, finding the right place, dealing with delays, and arriving at your destination. Chapter 8: English Outside the Home. Now we are moving into a part of English that becomes especially useful when you leave home and start moving through the world around you. You may be walking to a nearby shop, riding a bus to work, taking a train to another city, waiting at an airport, meeting someone outside a building, or trying to find a place you have never visited before. Travel does not always mean taking a long vacation. Even a 20-minute journey across your town creates situations where you need simple English. You may need to tell someone that you are on your way. Explain that a bus is late. Say that you missed your stop. Ask where an entrance is, or tell someone you have finally arrived. These phrases are useful because they describe real moments that happen naturally during travel and transportation. As always, do not try to memorize every sentence immediately. First, hear the phrase. Then understand the situation where someone would really use it. Repeat it out loud. And after that, imagine the same situation in your own life. The more clearly you can imagine yourself saying the phrase, the easier it becomes to remember and use later. I'm on my way. Imagine someone is waiting for you and sends a message asking where you are. You have already left and are traveling toward them. You can say, I'm on my way. Repeat it naturally. I'm on my way. Very good. This is one of the most common phrases people use when meeting someone. It tells the other person that you have started your journey. Maybe your friend asks, are you coming? You can answer, yes, I'm on my way. Maybe you are going to work, a restaurant, or someone's home. The phrase works in all of these situations. I just left home. Sometimes the person wants to know exactly where you are in your journey. If you have only recently started traveling, you can say, I just left home. Repeat it slowly. Good. The word just here means only a short time ago. Maybe your friend asks, how far away are you? You answer, I just left home. I'll be there soon. This sounds natural and gives useful information without a long explanation. I'm almost there. Imagine you are very close to your destination. Maybe only 5 minutes remain. You can say, I'm almost there. Repeat it. Excellent. This phrase is useful when someone is waiting for you and you want to tell them that they will not need to wait much longer. You can send a message saying, I'm almost there. See you in a few minutes. Notice how this connects naturally with, I'm on my way. First, you are on your way. Later, you are almost there. I'll meet you outside. Imagine you and another person are going to the same place, but instead of going inside separately, you decide to meet near the entrance. You can say, I'll meet you outside. Repeat it naturally. Very good. Maybe you are going to a restaurant, office, mall, cinema, or station. You can say, I'll meet you outside. You can also make it more specific. I'll meet you outside the station, or I'll meet you outside the restaurant. Let's go together. Imagine you and another person are going to the same place. Instead of traveling separately, you want to travel with them. You can say, Let's go together. Repeat it. Good. Maybe you are both going to the supermarket. Let's go together. Maybe you are going to work from the same area. Again, let's go together. This is a simple, friendly phrase that can make plans easier. Let us connect these first phrases into one realistic situation. Your friend is waiting at a cafe and asks, "Where are you?" You reply, "I'm on my way. I just left home." 10 minutes later, you send another message, "I'm almost there." You decide where to meet and say, "I'll meet you outside." Another friend is going to the same place, so you tell them, "Let's go together." These phrases belong naturally to real travel. "I'll wait here." Imagine you arrive before the other person. You do not want to keep moving around, so you say, "I'll wait here." Repeat it. Very good. Maybe you are standing near a station entrance, a shop, or a bus stop. You can message your friend, "I'm here. I'll wait here." This gives them a clear place to find you. You can also say, "I'll wait outside," or "I'll wait near the entrance. This is my stop." Imagine you are traveling by bus or train and the place where you need to get off is coming. You can say, "This is my stop." Repeat it naturally. Excellent. Maybe you are traveling with someone and want them to know you are leaving the bus now. "This is my stop." It is a short sentence, but it is very useful when using public transportation. "I need to get off here." This phrase is closely connected to the previous one. If you need to leave the bus, train, or another vehicle at this location, you can say, "I need to get off here." Repeat it. Good. Get off means leave a bus, train, plane, or similar form of transportation. Maybe you are talking to someone and realize your stop has arrived. "Sorry, I need to get off here." That sounds natural. "I missed my stop." Imagine you are distracted, looking at your phone, talking to someone, or simply do not recognize the place quickly enough. The bus passes the place where you wanted to get off. You can say, "I missed my stop." Repeat it slowly. Very good. This means you stayed on the bus or train too long. Maybe you now need to get off at the next stop and go back. It is an everyday travel problem that happens to many people. "I think we're going the wrong way." Imagine you are in a taxi, car, or walking with someone, and the road does not look correct. You expected to turn left, but you are moving in the opposite direction. You can say, "I think we're going the wrong way." Repeat it. Excellent. Notice the words, "I think." They make the sentence softer. You are not immediately accusing anyone. You are simply saying that something may be wrong. This is useful when you are not completely certain. Now imagine you are meeting a friend and then taking a bus together. You arrive first and say, "I'll wait here." Once you are on the bus, you notice your destination and say, "This is my stop. I need to get off here." But maybe you are not paying attention and the bus continues. "Oh no, I missed my stop." Then, while trying to return, you look outside and say, "I think we're going the wrong way." These are realistic phrases for small travel problems. The bus is running late. Imagine you are waiting at a bus stop and the bus should already be there, but it has not arrived. You can say, "The bus is running late." Repeat it naturally. Very good. Running late means it is later than planned. You already learned this expression for yourself. "I'm running a little late." Now you can use it for transportation too. The bus is running late. You might message someone, "I may be late because the bus is running late." The train has been delayed. Imagine the train is not leaving or arriving at the planned time. You can say, "The train has been delayed." Repeat it slowly. Good. A delay means something is happening later than expected. Maybe your train was supposed to leave at 3 but will now leave at 4. You can tell someone, "The train has been delayed." This sounds natural and clear. "I'm waiting for the next one." Imagine you missed a bus or train, or the one you wanted was too full. You decide to wait for the next bus or train. You can say, "I'm waiting for the next one." Repeat it. Excellent. The word one replaces the thing you already mentioned. If you are talking about a bus, the next one means the next bus. If you are talking about a train, it means the next train. This is useful because you do not need to repeat the same noun again. I need to find my gate. Now imagine you are at an airport. You have checked in and have your boarding pass, but you need to know where your plane will leave from. You can say, I need to find my gate. Repeat it. Very good. The gate is the area where passengers wait before boarding a flight. You may look at a screen, follow signs, or ask someone for help. I need to find my gate. Simple and practical. I only have one bag. Imagine someone at the airport, station, or hotel asks about your luggage. You can say, I only have one bag. Repeat it naturally. Good. Maybe you have one suitcase and nothing else? You can also change the number. I have two bags. I only have a small backpack. The sentence can easily match your own situation. Let us connect these transportation phrases. You are waiting at a stop and say, the bus is running late. Later at the station, you hear an announcement and say, the train has been delayed. Maybe you miss one bus and decide, I'm waiting for the next one. At the airport, you look at your boarding pass and think, I need to find my gate. When someone asks about your luggage, you say, I only have one bag. These are simple phrases, but they can help you explain exactly what is happening. This seat is free. Imagine you are on a bus, train, or in a waiting area and someone asks if a seat is available. You can say, this seat is free. Repeat it. Very good. Free here means nobody is using it. It does not mean you do not need to pay for the journey. Maybe someone points to the seat beside you. You say, yes, this seat is free. This is a helpful and friendly answer. I'll sit by the window. Imagine you have a choice of seats and prefer the one beside the window. You can say, I'll sit by the window. Repeat it naturally. Excellent. Maybe you are traveling with a friend. They choose the aisle seat, and you say, that's fine. I'll sit by the window. You can also say, I prefer the window seat. Both are natural. I think I'm in the wrong place. Imagine you arrive somewhere but nothing looks familiar. Maybe you were supposed to meet someone at another entrance, another building, or another station. You can say, I think I'm in the wrong place. Repeat it. Good. Again, I think makes the statement softer because you are still checking. You may then call someone and ask where they are. I'm trying to find this place. Imagine you have an address or place name on your phone but cannot see the building. You can show the address to someone and say, I'm trying to find this place. Repeat it slowly. Very good. This is a natural way to ask for help without needing a complicated sentence. Maybe you show them your phone and say, excuse me, I'm trying to find this place. A person can then point you in the right direction. I think I'm lost. Imagine you have been walking for several minutes and no longer know where you are. You can say, I think I'm lost. Repeat it. Excellent. Being lost means you do not know your current location or how to reach your destination. Maybe you call a friend and say, I think I'm lost. Can you help me? That is simple English, but it can be very useful. Now imagine you are traveling by train. Someone asks whether the seat next to you is available. You answer, this seat is free. You choose your own seat and say, I'll sit by the window. Later you arrive at a station, but the surroundings do not look right. I think I'm in the wrong place. You show someone the address on your phone. I'm trying to find this place. After walking for a while, you realize, I think I'm lost. Each phrase belongs naturally to the next situation. I'm looking for the entrance. Imagine you have found the building, but you cannot see where people go inside. You can say, I'm looking for the entrance. Repeat it. Good. Maybe the entrance is around the side or behind the building. You can ask someone, excuse me, I'm looking for the entrance. This sounds clear and polite. I need to find the exit. Now imagine you are inside a large mall, station, airport, or building and want to leave. You can say, I need to find the exit. Repeat it. Excellent. The entrance is where you go in. The exit is where you go out. These two words are very useful in public places. Say them together. Entrance, exit. Good. I don't know this area very well. Imagine someone asks you about a street or place, but you are new to the area. You can say, I don't know this area very well. Repeat it naturally. Very good. This is useful because it explains why you may not know the answer. Maybe someone asks you for directions. You can say, Sorry, I don't know this area very well. This sounds polite and honest. We should be there soon. Imagine you have been traveling for a while and believe the destination is not far away. You can say, We should be there soon. Repeat it. Good. Maybe you are in a taxi with your family and someone asks, How much longer? You look at the map and say, We should be there soon. This tells them that only a short part of the journey remains. We finally arrived. Imagine the trip has been long, tiring, or delayed. But now you have reached your destination. You can say, We finally arrived. Repeat it with a little feeling. We finally arrived. Excellent. The word finally shows that you were waiting for this moment. Maybe the journey took longer than expected. Maybe there was traffic. When you reach the hotel, station, or home, you say, We finally arrived. Now let us put the entire chapter into one realistic journey. Imagine you are meeting a friend in another part of the city. They ask where you are, and you send, I'm on my way. I just left home. After some time, I'm almost there. I'll meet you outside. Another friend is also going, so you say, Let's go together. You arrive first. I'll wait here. Then you both take a bus. You look outside and say, This is my stop. I need to get off here. But on another day, you may be distracted and say, I missed my stop. You look at the map and think, I think we're going the wrong way. Later, you wait for another bus. The bus is running late. At the train station, you learn, the train has been delayed. You miss one service and decide, I'm waiting for the next one. On a longer journey, you reach the airport and say, I need to find my gate. I only have one bag. On the plane or train, someone asks about a seat. This seat is free. You choose your own place. I'll sit by the window. After arriving, things do not look right. I think I'm in the wrong place. You show your phone to someone. I'm trying to find this place. After walking for a while, I think I'm lost. You finally reach the correct building but cannot see where to go in. I'm looking for the entrance. Later, when leaving, I need to find the exit. Someone asks you about another street, but you explain, I don't know this area very well. Then, while traveling to your final destination, you look at the map and say, We should be there soon. After a long day, you arrive and smile. We finally arrived. Now let us do a speaking challenge. I will give you the situation, and you try to say the natural phrase before seeing the answer. You have already started traveling towards someone. I'm on my way. You left your house only a short time ago. I just left home. You are very close to the destination. I'm almost there. You want to meet near the building instead of inside. I'll meet you outside. You and another person are traveling to the same place. Let's go together. You arrive before the other person. I'll wait here. Your bus has reached the place where you need to leave. This is my stop. You need to leave the bus now. I need to get off here. The bus already passed your stop. I missed my stop. The road does not look correct. I think we're going the wrong way. Your bus has not arrived at the expected time. The bus is running late. Your train will leave later than planned. The train has been delayed. You missed one bus and are staying for another. I'm waiting for the next one. You are at the airport and need to locate the correct boarding area. I need to find my gate. Someone asks about your luggage and you have only one item. I only have one bag. Nobody is using the seat beside you. This seat is free. You prefer the seat beside the window. I'll sit by the window. You arrive somewhere but think it is not the correct location. I think I'm in the wrong place. You show someone an address because you want to locate it. I'm trying to find this place. You no longer know where you are. I think I'm lost. You have found the building but not the door to go inside. I'm looking for the entrance. You want to leave a large building. I need to find the exit. You cannot give good directions because the neighborhood is unfamiliar. I don't know this area very well. You believe only a short part of the journey remains. We should be there soon. And after a long journey ends, we finally arrived. Now take some of these phrases and make them personal. Start with, I'm on my way, at a place. I'm on my way to work. I'm on my way to the station. Start with, I'll meet you outside. Change it to, I'll meet you outside the cafe. Start with, I'm waiting for the next one. Make the object clear. I'm waiting for the next bus. Start with, I only have one bag. Change the number. I have two bags. Start with, I'm looking for the entrance. Change the place. I'm looking for the hotel entrance. These small changes help the language become yours. You can also practice this chapter the next time you travel anywhere, even if the journey is very short. When you leave home, think, I'm on my way. When you reach the bus stop, say, I'll wait here. When your stop approaches, think, this is my stop. If the bus is late, say, the bus is running late. When you are close to your destination, I'm almost there. And when you arrive, I finally arrived. Or, if you are with someone, we finally arrived. A normal journey can become a simple speaking lesson without adding extra study time. Another useful habit is to connect two phrases instead of practicing them alone. Say, I'm on my way. I should be there soon. Or, I think I'm lost. I'm trying to find this place. Or, the train has been delayed. I'm waiting for the next one. When you connect two short sentences, your English begins to sound more like real communication. You are still using beginner vocabulary, but your message becomes much more complete. Remember that travel English does not need to be complicated to be useful. If you are in the wrong place, saying, I think I'm in the wrong place, already communicates the problem. If you cannot find a building, I'm trying to find this place, can begin the conversation. If you do not know an area, I don't know this area very well, is enough to explain your situation. Clear language is more valuable than trying to build a long sentence you cannot say confidently. You have now completed 200 of the 250 everyday English phrases. Only 50 phrases remain. You can now use practical English during your morning, at home, around food, while working or studying, on your phone, while shopping, in friendly conversations, while making plans, and now while traveling through public places. In the next chapter, we will focus on something every learner needs. What to say when something goes wrong or when you do not understand. You will learn natural phrases for asking for clarification, explaining small problems, checking your pronunciation, correcting yourself, and continuing the conversation instead of becoming silent. Chapter 9. Problems, Clarification, and Getting Help. Now we are moving into one of the most important parts of real spoken English. What to say when you do not understand something, when you make a mistake, or when a small problem happens. This chapter is especially important for beginners because real conversations are not always perfect. Sometimes another person speaks too quickly. Sometimes you hear most of a sentence but miss one part. Sometimes you know a word but cannot remember it at that moment. Sometimes you pronounce something and are not sure whether you said it correctly. And sometimes the problem is not your English at all. Your phone may stop working, you may forget something at home, or you may simply make a small mistake. In these moments, you do not need advanced English. You need a few clear phrases that help you stay calm and keep communicating. That is exactly what we are going to practice now. Listen carefully. Repeat every phrase out loud. Understand the real situation behind it, and then imagine yourself using it. The goal is not to avoid every mistake. The goal is to know what to say when a mistake or problem happens. I didn't catch that. Imagine someone says something to you, but you do not hear or understand the sentence clearly. Maybe the room is noisy. Maybe they speak quickly. Maybe you understand the first half but not the second. You can say, I didn't catch that. Repeat it naturally. I didn't catch that. Very good. This does not mean you are talking about catching an object. In conversation, I didn't catch that means you did not fully hear or understand what the person said. You can make it more polite by saying, Sorry, I didn't catch that. Try the full sentence. Excellent. This is a very natural phrase, and it is much better than pretending you understood when you did not. I missed the last part. Sometimes you understand most of what someone says, but the final words are unclear. You can say, I missed the last part. Repeat it slowly. Good. Maybe someone says, the meeting starts at 9, and after that we need to, but you do not hear the ending. You can say, Sorry, I missed the last part. This is useful because you are telling the person exactly what you need them to repeat. You do not need them to say the entire conversation again. I'm not following you. Imagine someone is explaining something, but the explanation becomes difficult and you no longer understand the idea. You can say, I'm not following you. Repeat it naturally. Very good. This does not mean you are physically walking behind them. In conversation, it means, I do not understand the explanation. Maybe a coworker gives you several steps quickly. You can say, I'm not following you. Can you explain that again? This phrase is useful when the problem is not one word but the whole idea. Could you explain that differently? Sometimes repeating the same sentence does not help. Maybe you hear all the words, but you still do not understand what the person means. You can ask, could you explain that differently? Repeat it slowly. Excellent. This means you want the person to use different words or another way of explaining. Imagine a teacher explains a grammar point and you still feel confused. You can say, I understand some of it, but could you explain that differently? This is a very useful learning phrase because it keeps the conversation moving. Could you give me an example? Sometimes a simple example is easier to understand than a long explanation. You can ask, could you give me an example? Repeat it. Good. Maybe someone teaches you the phrase on the way, but you are not sure how to use it. You can say, could you give me an example? They might answer, I'm on the way to work. Now the meaning becomes clearer. You can use this phrase in lessons, meetings, training sessions, and everyday conversations. Let us connect these first phrases into one realistic learning situation. You are listening to someone explain something in English. At first, you cannot hear clearly, so you say, Sorry, I didn't catch that. They repeat the sentence, but you only miss the ending this time. I missed the last part. Then the explanation becomes more difficult. I'm not following you. You ask, could you explain that differently? They try again, but you still want a real situation, so you say, could you give me an example? These simple phrases give you a way to stay inside the conversation instead of giving up. Let me make sure I understand. Imagine someone gives you important information and you want to check that you understood it correctly. You can say, let me make sure I understand. Repeat it naturally. Very good. After this phrase, you can repeat the information in your own words. For example, someone says, come tomorrow at 10 and bring your ID. You can say, let me make sure I understand. I should come tomorrow at 10 and bring my ID, right? This is a very useful way to avoid misunderstandings. I think I understand now. After someone explains something again and the meaning becomes clearer, you can say, I think I understand now. Repeat it. Good. The words, I think, show that you are feeling more confident, but you are still checking. Maybe your teacher gives another example and suddenly the idea makes sense. I think I understand now. This is a simple phrase that shows progress during a conversation. That's much clearer. Imagine the second explanation is much easier to understand than the first one. You can say, that's much clearer. Repeat it slowly. Excellent. This means the explanation is easier to understand now. You can also say, "Yes, that's much clearer. Thank you." Try the full response. "Very good." This sounds polite and lets the other person know that their explanation helped. "I need a moment to think." Sometimes you understand the question perfectly, but you need time to decide what you want to say. You do not need to answer immediately. You can say, "I need a moment to think." Repeat it naturally. "Good." Maybe someone asks, "Which option do you prefer?" You want to compare them first. "I need a moment to think." This phrase gives you time without making the conversation feel uncomfortable. "I'm trying to remember." Imagine you know the information, but it is not coming to your mind immediately. You can say, "I'm trying to remember." Repeat it. "Excellent." Maybe someone asks for the name of a restaurant you visited last week. You know it, but you cannot remember at that moment. "I'm trying to remember." This phrase is useful because it explains why you are pausing. Now imagine someone is explaining a task to you. You say, "Let me make sure I understand." You repeat the instructions, and after another explanation, "I think I understand now." You smile and say, "That's much clearer." Then the person asks you what you want to do next. "I need a moment to think." You almost know the answer but cannot remember one detail. "I'm trying to remember." These are natural phrases that make pauses and uncertainty feel normal. How do I pronounce this? Imagine you are reading a new English word, but are not sure how to say it aloud. You can ask, "How do I pronounce this?" Repeat it slowly. "Very good." Maybe the word is written in a book, on a screen, or in a message. You can point to it and ask the question. This is extremely useful for English learners because spelling and pronunciation are not always the same in English. Did I say that correctly? After you pronounce a word or make a sentence, you may want to check whether it sounded right. You can ask, "Did I say that correctly?" Repeat it naturally. "Excellent." Maybe you are practicing with a teacher or friend. You say a sentence and then ask, "Did I say that correctly?" If they say yes, great. If they correct you, you get another chance to improve. "Please correct me if I'm wrong." Imagine you are practicing English and want another person to help you notice your mistakes. You can say, "Please correct me if I'm wrong." Repeat it. Good. This phrase is useful because it gives the other person permission to correct you. Maybe you say, "Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the meeting starts at 9. Or while practicing English, "Please correct me if I'm wrong." This shows that you are open to learning. Let me say it again. Sometimes you say something incorrectly, or you simply want to try one more time. You can say, "Let me say it again." Repeat it. Very good. Maybe you pronounce a word badly and immediately notice it. Instead of stopping, say, "Let me say it again." Then repeat the word or sentence more clearly. This is a powerful phrase for learners because it encourages you to keep speaking. "I think there's a mistake." Now we are moving from language problems to small, everyday problems. Imagine you look at a bill, form, order, message, or piece of work, and something does not look correct. You can say, "I think there's a mistake." Repeat it slowly. Excellent. Notice that "I think" makes the sentence softer. You are not accusing anyone. You are saying that something may be wrong. For example, at a restaurant, you might look at the bill and say, "Excuse me, I think there's a mistake." This sounds calm and polite. Let us connect these phrases. You see a new English word and ask, "How do I pronounce this?" You try it and ask, "Did I say that correctly?" You tell your partner, "Please correct me if I'm wrong." You notice your first attempt was not right, so you say, "Let me say it again." Later, you check a document and notice something unusual. "I think there's a mistake." These phrases help you learn and solve problems without becoming embarrassed or frustrated. "This isn't what I expected." Imagine you order, buy, or receive something, but it is different from what you thought it would be. You can say, "This isn't what I expected." Repeat it naturally. Good. Maybe the hotel room looks very different from the photos. Maybe a product is smaller than you expected. Maybe a task is completely different from what someone described. This phrase helps you express disappointment or surprise without sounding aggressive. Something isn't working. Imagine a device, app, machine, or system is not behaving normally. You can say, something isn't working. Repeat it. Very good. Maybe you are not sure exactly what the problem is. This phrase is useful because you can explain that there is a problem even before you understand the cause. Maybe you say, something isn't working. Let me check it. My phone isn't working. Now make the problem more specific. Imagine your phone will not turn on. Make calls, connect to the internet, or open an app. You can say, my phone isn't working. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe a friend asks why you did not answer. You can say, sorry, my phone isn't working properly. For beginners, the simpler sentence is enough. My phone isn't working. My battery is dead. Imagine you try to use your phone, but it turns off because there is no power left. You can say, my battery is dead. Repeat it naturally. Good. This means the battery has no power. Maybe someone asks why you could not call them. My battery was dead. For now, practice the everyday version. My battery is dead. I need to charge my phone. I forgot to bring it. Imagine you planned to bring something with you but left home without it. You can say, I forgot to bring it. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe someone asks for a document. I'm sorry, I forgot to bring it. Maybe you were supposed to bring a book, charger, or umbrella. You can make the phrase more specific. I forgot to bring my charger. Now think of one object and create your own example. Now imagine a normal small problem. You receive something and think, this isn't what I expected. Then you try to use a device. Something isn't working. You check your phone. My phone isn't working. A moment later you realize, my battery is dead. Someone asks if you have your charger, but you say, I forgot to bring it. This is exactly the kind of simple chain of events that can happen in real life. I left it at home. Sometimes you know exactly where the missing item is. You simply did not bring it with you. You can say, I left it at home. Repeat it naturally. Very good. Maybe someone asks, do you have your ID? You check your bag and say, no, I left it at home. This is different from losing something. You know where it is. It is just not with you. I can't find my keys. Imagine you are ready to leave but do not know where your keys are. You can say, I can't find my keys. Repeat it. Good. You can change the object easily. I can't find my phone. I can't find my wallet. I can't find my glasses. Now think about something you sometimes look for and make your own sentence. I'll try one more time. Imagine something does not work the first time, but you want to make one final attempt. You can say, I'll try one more time. Repeat it slowly. Excellent. Maybe an app does not open. I'll try one more time. Maybe your password does not work. I'll try one more time. Maybe you're practicing a difficult English sentence. Again, I'll try one more time. This is useful in many situations. It's working now. Imagine the problem disappears after you try again. The phone turns on, the website opens, the machine starts, or the connection returns. You can say, it's working now. Repeat it. Very good. This phrase gives the other person an immediate update. Maybe someone was helping you and asks, is it okay now? You can answer, yes, it's working now. Problem solved. Finally, imagine the issue has been completely fixed. You can say, problem solved. Repeat it with a positive voice. Excellent. This is short, natural, and satisfying. Maybe you find your keys, reconnect the internet, fix the document, or correct a mistake. Problem solved. You can also say, okay, problem solved. It is a simple way to show that everything is okay again. Now let us put this entire chapter into one realistic day. Imagine you are in an English lesson. The teacher says something quickly and you say, sorry, I didn't catch that. They repeat it, but you say, I missed the last part. The explanation becomes complicated. I'm not following you. Could you explain that differently? Then you ask, Could you give me an example? The teacher gives you one and you respond, let me make sure I understand. You repeat the idea and then say, I think I understand now. That's much clearer. The teacher asks you a question. You need a little time, so you say, I need a moment to think. I'm trying to remember. Then you see a new word and ask, how do I pronounce this? You try it. Did I say that correctly? You tell the teacher, please correct me if I'm wrong. You make a small pronunciation mistake and say, let me say it again. Later in the day, you look at a form and say, I think there's a mistake. You receive something that is different from what you expected. This isn't what I expected. Then your phone starts acting strangely. Something isn't working. My phone isn't working. You look at the screen and realize, my battery is dead. Someone asks for your charger, but you say, I forgot to bring it. I left it at home. When you are ready to leave, you suddenly realize, I can't find my keys. You search for them and think, I'll try one more time. You check another pocket, and there they are. It's working now, may fit a device, and once the whole issue is finished, you can smile and say, problem solved. Now let us do a speaking challenge. I will describe the situation, and you try to say the useful phrase before you read the answer. You did not clearly hear what someone said. I didn't catch that. You only missed the final words. I missed the last part. The explanation is becoming difficult to understand. I'm not following you. You want the person to use another explanation. Could you explain that differently? You want a real example. Could you give me an example? You want to check whether your understanding is correct. Let me make sure I understand. The new explanation finally makes sense. I think I understand now. It is much easier to understand than before. That's much clearer. You understand the question but need time before answering. I need a moment to think. The answer is in your memory, but you cannot find it immediately. I'm trying to remember. You see a new word and do not know how to say it. How do I pronounce this? You want to know whether your pronunciation was right. Did I say that correctly? You want another person to help you notice mistakes. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You want to repeat your sentence. Let me say it again. Something on a bill or document looks incorrect. I think there's a mistake. Something you receive is different from what you thought it would be. This isn't what I expected. You know there is a technical problem but do not know exactly what it is. Something isn't working. Your phone has a problem. My phone isn't working. Your phone has no power left. My battery is dead. You planned to bring something but did not. I forgot to bring it. You know the missing thing is still in your house. I left it at home. You do not know where your keys are. I can't find my keys. The first attempt failed, but you want another attempt. I'll try one more time. The device or system has started working again. It's working now. And finally, when everything is fixed, problem solved. Now take some of these phrases and make them part of your own English learning. Imagine you are watching a video and one sentence is too fast. Instead of becoming frustrated, say, I didn't catch that. Play it again. If only the ending is difficult, I missed the last part. If the meaning is still unclear, ask yourself, could I find another explanation? When you finally understand, say, that's much clearer. If you are speaking and forget a word, do not panic. Say, I'm trying to remember. If you pronounce something incorrectly, say, let me say it again. This attitude turns mistakes into practice. Another very important lesson in this chapter is that asking for clarification is a communication skill, not a failure. Even fluent speakers sometimes say, I didn't catch that, especially when a room is noisy or someone speaks quickly. People ask for examples. People repeat themselves. People make mistakes and correct them. You do not need to understand every sentence immediately to be a successful communicator. You need to know how to respond when you do not understand. You can also use a simple three-step pattern when communication becomes difficult. First, explain the problem. I didn't catch that. Second, ask for help. Could you explain that differently? Third, confirm when you understand. I think I understand now. That's much clearer. That is a complete communication strategy using only a few simple phrases. The same idea works with everyday problems. First, identify the issue. Something isn't working. Then explain what you know. My phone isn't working. My battery is dead. Then take an action. I'll try one more time. Finally, when the issue is fixed, it's working now. Problem solved. You do not need complicated technical English to explain a small problem clearly. Now imagine someone asks you a difficult English question. Instead of becoming silent, you can say, I need a moment to think. That phrase gives you valuable time. Then, if the word is almost in your mind, say, I'm trying to remember. If you make a mistake, let me say it again. These phrases help you stay inside the conversation. That is exactly what you want as a beginner. Not perfect English, but the ability to keep going. You have now completed 225 of the 250 everyday English phrases. Only 25 phrases remain. You can now use English when starting your day, at home, around food, at work or while studying, on your phone, while shopping, in friendly conversation, while making plans, while traveling, and when something becomes confusing or goes wrong. That is a large amount of practical everyday English. In the final chapter, we will bring everything toward natural everyday fluency. You will learn simple phrases for thinking, deciding, trying again, noticing your progress, building confidence, and preparing yourself for real conversations in English. Chapter 10: Thinking, Deciding, Confidence, and Natural Speech. You have reached the final chapter of this course, and now we are going to focus on something that connects everything you have practiced so far. Using simple English when you are thinking, making decisions, trying something new, and noticing your own progress. In real life, conversations are not always about clear facts. Sometimes you do not know your answer immediately. Sometimes you need a few seconds to think. Sometimes you change your opinion after hearing new information. Sometimes you try something and you are not sure whether it will work. And when you are learning English, there will also be moments when you understand the idea in your mind, but still need courage and practice to say it aloud. That is completely normal in the learning process. The phrases in this final chapter will help you talk through those moments in simple, natural English. They will also help you stay inside a conversation instead of becoming silent when you need time. Listen carefully, repeat each phrase aloud, connect it with a real situation, and most importantly, imagine yourself actually using it. These final phrases are not about sounding advanced. They are about becoming more comfortable with the English you already know. I'm thinking about it. Imagine someone asks you to make a decision, but you are not ready to answer yet. Maybe a friend asks if you want to join them this weekend. Maybe you are deciding whether to buy something. Maybe you are considering a new course or job opportunity. You can say, I'm thinking about it. Repeat it naturally. I'm thinking about it. Very good. This tells the other person that you have not ignored the question. You are simply considering it. Someone may ask, Are you going to take the course? You can answer, I'm thinking about it. Maybe someone asks, Are you going to buy that phone? Again, I'm thinking about it. Short, clear, and very natural. I haven't decided yet. Sometimes you have already considered the options, but you still do not know what you will choose. You can say, I haven't decided yet. Repeat it slowly. Good. The word yet is important because it shows that the decision may happen later. Maybe someone asks, Which restaurant do you want to go to? You can answer, I haven't decided yet. Maybe someone asks, Are you traveling this summer? You say, I haven't decided yet. You do not need to feel uncomfortable because you do not have an answer. This phrase gives you a natural way to say that the decision is still open. Let me think it over. Imagine someone gives you an important choice and you do not want to answer too quickly. You can say, let me think it over. Repeat it naturally. Excellent. Think it over means think carefully about something before deciding. Maybe someone offers you a new job. Let me think it over. Maybe your friend suggests an expensive trip. Let me think it over. This phrase sounds especially useful when the decision is important enough that you want some time. I'm trying to decide. Sometimes you are actively comparing two or more options. You can say, I'm trying to decide. Repeat it. Very good. Maybe you are looking at two jackets. I'm trying to decide. Maybe you are choosing between studying at home and going to the library. I'm trying to decide. You can make it more specific. I'm trying to decide which one to buy. I'm trying to decide what to do. For now, keep the simple phrase in your mind. I think this is better. Imagine you compare two options and begin to prefer one. You can say, I think this is better. Repeat it. Good. Maybe one hotel is closer to the station. I think this is better. Maybe one plan is simpler. I think this is better. Notice the words, I think. You are giving your opinion, not saying that everyone must agree with you. Now imagine you are choosing a laptop. A friend asks if you have made a decision. You say, I'm thinking about it. I haven't decided yet. They show you another option. Let me think it over. You compare the two products. I'm trying to decide. Then you look at the price, battery, and size, and finally say, I think this is better. That is a realistic decision-making conversation with very simple English. I changed my mind. Imagine you make one decision and then later choose something different. You can say, I changed my mind. Repeat it naturally. Excellent. Maybe you plan to stay home but now want to go out. I changed my mind. I'll come with you. Maybe you are going to buy the black shirt but now prefer the blue one. I changed my mind. I'll come with you. Maybe you were going to buy the black shirt but now prefer the blue one. I changed my mind. I'll come with you. Maybe you were going to buy the black shirt but now prefer the blue one. I changed my mind. I'll take the blue one. People change their minds all the time, so this is an extremely useful phrase. I made my decision. Now imagine the thinking is finished and you know exactly what you are going to do. You can say, I made my decision. Repeat it. Very good. Maybe you spent a few days comparing courses and finally choose one. I made my decision. I'm going to take this course. Maybe you were deciding whether to travel. I made my decision. I'm going. This phrase shows that the period of uncertainty is over. I'll give it a try. Imagine someone suggests something new and you decide to try it even though you are not completely sure about it. You can say, I'll give it a try. Repeat it slowly. Good. Maybe a friend suggests a new food. I'll give it a try. Maybe your teacher suggests speaking English for 5 minutes every morning. You say, I'll give it a try. This phrase is useful because it does not mean you promise to do something forever. It simply means you are willing to try. It's worth trying. Sometimes you are not sure whether something will work, but you believe there is enough possible benefit to make the attempt. You can say, it's worth trying. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe someone says, do you think practicing with short sentences will help me? You can answer, yes, it's worth trying. Maybe a friend is thinking about a new route to work because traffic is bad. It's worth trying. The phrase means the attempt has value even if the result is not guaranteed. I'll see how it goes. Imagine you decide to try something, but do not know exactly what will happen. You can say, I'll see how it goes. Repeat it naturally. Very good. Maybe you start studying English in the morning instead of at night. I'll see how it goes. Maybe you begin a new job or routine. I'll see how it goes. This is a relaxed phrase that means you will try something and then judge the result later. Let us connect these phrases into a real situation. You first choose one plan, but after thinking more you say, I changed my mind. Then, I made my decision. A friend suggests something new. I'll give it a try. You are not certain it will work, but you think, it's worth trying. You begin and say, I'll see how it goes. Notice how these phrases help you talk naturally even when the future is not completely certain. That worked out well. Now imagine you tried something and the result was good. You can say, that worked out well. Repeat it. Good. Maybe you took a different road and arrived earlier. That worked out well. Maybe you decided to practice English in the morning and found that you could focus better. That worked out well. This phrase is especially useful when you were not sure what would happen, but the result was positive. I'm getting better at this. Imagine something used to be difficult, but now you notice improvement. You can say, I'm getting better at this. Repeat it naturally. Excellent. Maybe you are learning to cook. I'm getting better at this. Maybe you are learning to use new software. I'm getting better at this. And of course, while practicing English, you can say, I'm getting better at this. This does not mean you are perfect. It means you can notice progress. I understand more than before. This is a very useful sentence for learners. Imagine a few months ago you understood only a little English, but now you can follow more sentences and conversations. You can say, I understand more than before. Repeat it slowly. Very good. Maybe you watch a video and notice that you do not need to pause as often. I understand more than before. This is a realistic way to notice improvement without expecting perfection. I'm starting to feel comfortable. Imagine something that once made you nervous is beginning to feel normal. You can say, I'm starting to feel comfortable. Repeat it. Excellent. Maybe you used to feel nervous talking with coworkers in English, but now you can speak a little more easily. I'm starting to feel comfortable. You can add the situation. I'm starting to feel comfortable speaking English. This is an important stage because confidence often grows slowly through repeated experience. I need more practice. Progress does not mean you have finished learning. Sometimes you can understand something but still know that you need more repetition. You can say, I need more practice. Repeat it naturally. Good. Maybe your pronunciation is improving, but some words are still difficult. I need more practice. Maybe you know many English phrases but cannot always remember them quickly. Again, I need more practice. This is a realistic and useful sentence because practice is part of learning almost any skill. Now think about learning English itself. You complete a speaking exercise and say, that worked out well. You notice that speaking short sentences is becoming easier. I'm getting better at this. You watch an English video and realize, I understand more than before. When you speak, you feel less nervous. I'm starting to feel comfortable. But some areas are still difficult. I need more practice. This is a much more realistic picture of progress than thinking you must become perfect in one day. I'm still learning. Imagine you make a mistake and feel embarrassed. Instead of expecting yourself to know everything, you can simply say, I'm still learning. Repeat it naturally. Very good. This phrase can be useful when you are learning English, a new job, a new skill, or anything else. Maybe someone asks why you are doing something slowly. I'm still learning. It explains the situation clearly. I'm doing my best. Sometimes a task is difficult, but you are genuinely trying. You can say, I'm doing my best. Repeat it. Excellent. This does not mean everything is perfect. It means you are giving your best effort. Maybe work is busy and you are trying to finish everything. I'm doing my best. Maybe English feels difficult, but you keep practicing. I'm doing my best. This phrase sounds natural in many situations. I'm not giving up. Imagine you have tried several times and something is still difficult, but you have decided to continue. You can say, I'm not giving up. Repeat it with confidence. Good. Maybe pronunciation is difficult today. I'm not giving up. Maybe you forget words when you speak. I'm not giving up. The phrase does not mean you will never become tired or frustrated. It simply means you have decided to keep trying. I can handle this. Imagine a task looks challenging, but you believe you can manage it. You can say, I can handle this. Repeat it naturally. Excellent. Maybe you have a busy day and several things to finish. I can handle this. Maybe you need to make a short phone call in English. You feel nervous, but you tell yourself, I can handle this. This phrase can help you approach a task calmly. I'm ready to try again. Sometimes your first attempt does not work. Maybe you make a mistake, forget a word, or cannot finish a task. After a short pause, you decide to try again. You can say, I'm ready to try again. Repeat it. Very good. This is different from pretending the first attempt never happened. You recognize that it was difficult and simply begin again. Imagine an English learner having a difficult day. They say something incorrectly and think, I'm still learning. They continue, I'm doing my best. A difficult word appears. I'm not giving up. They take a moment and tell themselves, I can handle this. Then they try the sentence again. I'm ready to try again. This is a realistic way to continue learning without expecting every attempt to be perfect. I know what I want to say. This phrase describes a very common experience for language learners. Sometimes the idea is completely clear in your mind, but the English words are not coming quickly enough. You can say, I know what I want to say. Repeat it slowly. Excellent. Imagine you are in a conversation. You understand the topic and have an opinion, but you need a few seconds to organize the English. I know what I want to say. You may then pause and continue. I just need to say it. Now imagine the words are almost ready, but fear is stopping you. You can tell yourself, I just need to say it. Repeat it naturally. Good. Sometimes beginners spend too much time trying to make a sentence perfect before speaking. But many real conversations do not give you that much time. You already know enough words to communicate. Sometimes you simply need to start. I'm speaking more confidently now. Imagine you compare yourself with how you spoke a few weeks or months ago. Maybe you still make mistakes, but you do not stop as often. Your voice is clearer and you are less afraid to answer. You can say, I'm speaking more confidently now. Repeat it. Excellent. Notice that this sentence talks about progress, not perfection. Confidence can grow even while you are still learning. Practice is making this easier. Imagine something felt very difficult at the beginning, but repeated practice is helping. You can say, practice is making this easier. Repeat it slowly. Very good. Maybe remembering phrases is getting easier. Maybe listening is becoming easier. Maybe speaking without translating every word is becoming easier. Practice is making this easier. This is a useful way to notice the connection between repetition and progress. I'm ready for a real conversation. This is the final phrase of our entire 250 phrase course. Repeat it slowly and clearly. I'm ready for a real conversation. This is the final phrase of our entire 250 phrase course. Repeat it slowly and clearly. I'm ready for a real conversation. Very good. Say it one more time with confidence. I'm ready for a real conversation. This does not mean you now know every English word. Nobody needs every English word to have a conversation. It means you have practiced useful phrases from many situations, and you are ready to start using what you know with real people. Maybe the conversation will be short. Maybe you will make a mistake. Maybe you will need to say, I didn't catch that, or I need a moment to think. That is completely normal. A real conversation does not require perfect English. It requires communication. Now let us bring the final phrases together in one realistic situation. Imagine a friend asks whether you are going to join an English-speaking group. You answer, I'm thinking about it. I haven't decided yet. They tell you that the group meets once a week and beginners are welcome. You say, let me think it over. I'm trying to decide. After considering it, you say, I think this is better than studying alone all the time. Maybe at first you decide not to join, but then you think again. I changed my mind. I made my decision. I'm going to join. You feel nervous, but you say, I'll give it a try. It's worth trying. I'll see how it goes. After the first meeting, you realize it was easier than you expected. That worked out well. After several weeks, I'm getting better at this. I understand more than before. I'm starting to feel comfortable. You know there is still a lot to learn. I need more practice. I'm still learning. But you can also say, I'm doing my best. I'm not giving up. I can handle this. I'm ready to try again. During a conversation, you have an idea but feel nervous. I know what I want to say. I just need to say it. You begin speaking and realize, I'm speaking more confidently now. Practice is making this easier. Finally, you smile and say, I'm ready for a real conversation. Now let us do the final speaking challenge for this chapter. You are considering an idea but have not made a decision. I'm thinking about it. Someone asks for your final answer, but you do not have one yet. I haven't decided yet. The decision is important and you want more time. Let me think it over. You are comparing different options. I'm trying to decide. One option now seems better. I think this is better. You choose something and later choose differently. I changed my mind. Your thinking is finished and your choice is clear. I made my decision. Someone suggests something new and you are willing to try. I'll give it a try. You believe the attempt could be useful. It's worth trying. You do not know what the result will be. I'll see how it goes. The result turns out to be good. That worked out well. You notice improvement in a skill. I'm getting better at this. You understand more now than you did earlier. I understand more than before. Something that once made you nervous now feels easier. I'm starting to feel comfortable. You know improvement still requires repetition. I need more practice. You make a mistake, but remember you have not finished learning. I'm still learning. The task is difficult, but you are giving your effort. I'm doing my best. You decide to continue instead of stopping. I'm not giving up. You face a challenge but believe you can manage it. I can handle this. Your first attempt was unsuccessful, but you want another one. I'm ready to try again. The idea is clear in your mind. I know what I want to say. You only need to speak. I just need to say it. Your voice and responses are becoming stronger. I'm speaking more confidently now. Repetition is reducing the difficulty. Practice is making this easier. And finally, when you are prepared to use what you have practiced with another person, I'm ready for a real conversation. Now think about how far this course has taken you. At the beginning, we started with the first moments of the morning. I'm awake now, I'm getting ready, and I'm ready to go. Then we moved through the home and kitchen with phrases such as, I need some water, dinner is almost ready, and now I can relax. We practiced work and study with, I'm working on it. I need to focus, and I learned something new today. We practiced phones and technology with, I missed your call, my internet is slow, and I'll send you the link. We went shopping with, I'm just looking. This fits perfectly, and I'll take this one. We learned how to keep social conversations moving with, that sounds interesting. I know what you mean, and I'm happy to hear that. We practiced choices and invitations with, I totally agree. I'd rather stay home, and I'm looking forward to it. We traveled with, I'm on my way. I think I'm lost, and we finally arrived. We handled difficult moments with, I didn't catch that. Could you explain that differently? And problem solved. And now you can talk about your own learning process with phrases such as, I'm getting better at this, and I'm ready for a real conversation. That is what everyday English really looks like. It is not one long, perfect speech. It is hundreds of small sentences used at the right moment. When someone calls, you may need only, I'll call you back. When someone tells you good news, you may need only, I'm happy to hear that. When you cannot understand, you may need, I didn't catch that. When you are choosing something, I'm thinking about it. When someone asks if you are ready, I'm ready to go. These short phrases may look simple on a page, but when you can use them quickly in real life, they become powerful. Now I want you to imagine one final realistic conversation. You meet someone who speaks English. They say hello, and you respond. They ask about your day, and you use a simple phrase you already know. Maybe you do not understand one sentence, so you calmly say, "Sorry, I didn't catch that." They repeat it. That's much clearer. They ask your opinion about something. You need time. "I need a moment to think." Then you share your answer. They suggest an activity. You say, "That sounds interesting," or "That's not really my thing." They invite you somewhere. "I'd love to come," or "I wish I could, maybe another time." You do not need to use all 250 phrases. You only need the right phrase for the moment you are in. That is real communication. Your next step should be simple. Do not close this lesson and try to memorize all 250 phrases tonight. Choose the phrases that match your real life. Maybe start with 10. Use them for several days, then choose 10 more. Speak to yourself while you are getting ready. Describe what you are doing at home. Use simple English when you check your phone. Imagine shopping conversations. React aloud when you watch English videos. Practice saying, "I didn't catch that," instead of becoming nervous when something is unclear. The more often a phrase meets a real situation, the stronger the connection becomes in your memory. And do not wait until your English feels perfect before you begin speaking. If you wait for a day when you know every word and never make mistakes, you may wait forever. Start with what you have. Use short sentences. Pause when you need time. Ask people to repeat something when necessary. Correct yourself and continue. A successful conversation is not one without mistakes. It is one where two people understand each other well enough to keep communicating. You have now completed all 250 everyday English phrases in this course. You started with simple daily routines and moved step by step into work, technology, shopping, social conversation, travel, problem solving, decisions, and more confident speaking. If some phrases already feel easy, that is progress. If some still feel difficult, that is also useful information because now you know what to practice next. Listen again, repeat again, and use the phrases that matter most in your daily life. Before we finish, say these final thoughts with me. I'm still learning. I'm doing my best. I'm not giving up. I can handle this. I'm ready to try again. I know what I want to say. I just need to say it. I'm speaking more confidently now. Practice is making this easier. I'm ready for a real conversation. And now your practice does not end with this lesson. It begins in your next real moment of English.